G'day everyone, welcome to a Sunday night Aquariums Anonymous meeting. I'm having a bit of a laugh because our guest is in a flap getting herself ready. My name is Adam. We've got a big night ahead of us with a very lovely lady. I will be your host this evening, and I am addicted to aquariums just like you. Let me take the time to say g'day to those that are in the chat right now. And there's been a lot of chat going on behind the streams, behind the scenes, I should say. So we've got Andrew Shiplock 5489, who's already got some questions up there for our guest. So I'm going to have to make sure I don't forget about those ones. We've got Rumi in the chat. We've got Praddy87, guys. Ross Dingle, how you going, buddy? Jack Spencer, how are you, mate? Pleased to have you here. The Gold Coast Fish Keeper, Heath, how are you, buddy? Heath wants to come on the chat next week. Let's see if we do that. And we've also got a lot of talk already. We've got so many questions coming on. Gil down there in the semi-trailer, how you going, buddy? Got to check out your video that's coming out pretty soon. I saw that giant sexy looking aquarium. The Ginger Ninja's in the house. G'day, mate. And I think we might be, we've got Gabs. How are you, Gabs? Fried Duck. And there is so much going on. Steve Levinson, how are you, mate? Ravencore, good morning, buddy. And I think without further ado, we should bring tonight's guest on to the stage. I can see her back there getting herself all primped and ready. Let's get herself on. G'day, would you like to properly introduce yourself?
G'day everyone, my name is Anya and I am an aquaholic.
You are addicted to aquariums. And I can prove that right now by showing everybody this. What is that photograph there, Anya?
This is a photo of, in 1986, of my very first aquarium. One could say I began in humble beginnings there with a little, gosh, could that be, 20-litre goldfish and swordtail set up in the kitchen bench.
Yep.
Yeah, and that setup was quickly moved to my dad's room, actually, because my mom didn't like watching fish defecate while she was preparing food.
Speaking of food, I dare say this might have been food.
Oh yeah, certainly. You know, my dad escaped Poland from the communist era, and he has always been so besotted with Australia and you know, the landscape and the fishing and the freedom and beautiful beaches and so on, and he used to go fishing, like, you know, 5-6 nights a week whenever he wasn't playing chess, basically.
Now, Anya, you're very well known in the Australian marine hobby, but also freshwater hobby too, and a little bit maybe of reptiles, because I did see a post about you sneaking up to a reptile expo on the Sunshine Coast, I think. Now, I know we've been lurking.
You've been snooping on me, Adam.
Let me show you a little photograph that I found. How's that?
Oh, that's me and you. We've got the same shirt
looks like
on.
You've been bashing me up by the cut in my forehead by the looks of it there. But you and Cam and the crew from Gallery Aquatica have been doing a lot over the last 6 weeks, I think, which we will definitely dive into tonight. But I also want to make sure that everyone understands that Anya is a businesswoman, but she's also a mad hobbyist. And so we are going to be delving into the addiction behind the woman tonight. So
yes. Initially I went to uni to do herpetology. So you hit the nail on the head there with the reptiles. But in the end, I couldn't really decide. So I did a triple major with marine biology and conservation biology and wildlife management as well. So I had all the choices in the end.
Now you're just showing off. Now, Anya, before we get started on the tour, we might do the tour of Gallery Aquatica first in case the lights start to dim down. Is that right?
Sure. Yeah, I think that's a good idea because they are programmed a little later this evening for
Yep.
our special event, but they might just be a bit dim if we wait another hour or so. Yeah.
Yeah. But before we do that, we should find out, what are you drinking tonight?
Tonight I'm drinking Kirin. It's a Japanese vodka, I believe, and apple is my favorite, but they only had strawberry and lemon, so I've got the strawberry for the sweet note, even though I don't like sweet stuff, and the lemon to kind of balance that out. So I've got some choices. What are you drinking?
Oh, this is just red label Johnny Walker Scotch. That's all it is.
Beautiful. Well, as we would say, na zdrowie. Cheers, mate.
No. Cheers.
Na zdrowie.
Na zdrov. Nice drop.
Na zdrowie. Okay. It means for good health. To good health, rather.
I think that might be a little bit backward when it comes to the amount that I ingest. Do you want to turn that camera around?
Yes.
Whack on, or go on to back screen, I think it is.
I'll hold my... Yes. Now, I'm sorry, everybody, I'm going to try and not be shaky, but I'm a bit shaky. Front camera, back camera, lovely.
All right.
So,
do you want to start at the front door and just give everybody a bit of a feeling as to what's going on, and also a bit of a back history as to what happened with the other stores as well?
Oh, I locked the door.
Don't go outside. Don't go outside. It's dangerous out there.
There's a 24-hour gym down the very front of the complex, and actually a fancy what do you call it? Like a man cave shed. So someone's filled a space just like this, just with boys' toys, and they're all just playing with their motorbikes at the moment. So, anywho, so you come into our front door, and this is the new Gallery Aquatica Tingalpa, and we did have, of course, the Wynnum store for nearly 13 years. And that was a very small, it was only 60 meters squared, saltwater specialist store. And we did have the Salisbury shop, which was fresh and saltwater, but both stores were shut down because they were being rented, whereas we were fortunate enough to own this amazing building now. And so, yeah, we've got a big loan and an amazing space here, which we've been working on. So it's been 2.3 months since our soft opening.
Yeah, which is amazing, absolutely amazing. There was zero in that space, wasn't there, Anya?
Zero what? Sorry, Adam.
There was zero tanks, racks, counters. It was an empty space that you started from.
Oh yeah, in this, almost certainly, yes. When we when everything got signed, it was just, we didn't even have a floor or electricity or plumbing, and we were able to incorporate some floor drains, which was fantastic. So of course the dry goods shelving was one of the first things that we installed. That was quite easy to do, but everything has come in quite organically, bit by bit, day by day, week by week, as we can as you can understand. It takes a lot of work, relocating not one but two stores, and so just while I'm here, so I can move a bit, this is our entrance kind of display tank, and the residents here are quite funky little characters. Well, I guess they're kind of big. There's the leopard eel here, and his name's Seth, and it's quite rude that he's actually got his back towards me, isn't it? And I guess they're like, why are you here at this time? This is odd. And this is Eli, the white-eyed eel, Chompy, Bumblebee, and Darth Vader. And there's been some beautiful clients that have named these fish, and a couple of backstories, but these fish have all been rehomed in one way or another. And it's been quite an attention-grabbing setup, even though, for us, seasoned reef keepers, it's not like fancy coral or reef fish, but everybody just loves coming here and interacting with these big predators, so that's funky.
Well, it's only been 6 weeks, but there's no absolute reason why you can't have a full-blown reef tank in that, a reef display in that tank, maybe with the exception of the Picasso, but
he's a bit of a menace. I mean, he knocks around things, but we are going to cover the whole thing with different colors of GSP. We've got 6 varieties in propagation currently, so I think the rockscape will look really awesome once all that has kind of established.
Yep. Well, let's head over to what you're doing with your coral flats, because they're the ones where the lights might start to dim down, mightn't they?
This is true. And in fact, we have unfortunately missed, this is our invertebrate system. So we've got all the anemones, cleanup crew, heaps of things like starfish. It's a little dark. I'm so sorry, everybody. Hey, I need to put this
filter on the front.
Right? Yeah, sorry, everyone. And in our way here is this giant water box that's actually getting picked up tomorrow. So these 2 3-meter custom S3 Cade tanks have taken a number of months to arrive, and geez, we are just so impressed with how beautiful they are. I've never seen a 3-meter Cade prior to this, so it has been a little bit of an event getting them in and installed. They came on this giant shipping container, and it took 6 people to lift each component, the cabinet with the sump and the tank, and they really struggled. I mean, we've got some really strong staff, but it was just super heavy.
How have you set the tanks up? You set them up as like softies on one, stonies on the other, or what's the plan?
So my coral curation OCD is kind of buzzing currently, because it is, as we said, it's only been 2 months since we've set up, and we actually set up without these cades. And these cades, this has probably been for a month here now, and the other has just on 2 weeks, I think it's been filled. So this is what we call the SBS system. So that is correct, though it's currently housing my zoanthid rack, which is a disheveled, disorganized arrangement of overgrown frags that we're going to frag out. But you can see I've just begun on the other side there. So that makes me really happy. And we've got our low light SBS, and there's some absolutely stunning options there. And then, $15 frags. So everything's quite affordable when we propagate it in-house. And we've got some beautiful soft coral frags here. This is where we would show our 6 different types of GSP. It's actually Pachyclavularia and Briarium, though I do believe that Pachyclavularia has actually been renamed to Briarium. But in any case, so we've got some beautiful organ pipes, some sustainable reef softies, which are really popular. They're made by Shane up at the Coral Farm in Cairns. And, of course, the fireworks frags, which are just so popular. But my dream, because I've got the coral OCD, of course, is to have SBS, softies, and then the frag tank down the back I'll show you for LPS. But you'll see in a sec that hasn't really happened.
Well, it's only been 6 weeks. We've got to give it time.
Yeah, this is true. So we've got our acro frags here, and they're really just settling in from being relocated. So it's killing me that, it's not all systems go, but it's really wonderful to be at this stage finally where we can get the bandsaw out and start propagating all the strains again, because we've sort of just been so involved with every component of the setup at this point. And so this is our Montipora rack. As you can see, we favor Montipora quite heavily. There's a lot of different varieties and strains. We've had, at least 12 years on some of them, and, just such a long time collecting and growing out Monties. And then the humble beginnings of zoanthids and a couple of bits and pieces there. So we recently set up this one. It's 2 weeks old. The guys have been debating, because I was like, let's go full softy, because I love the easy reef keeping mantra of soft coral tanks, and octocorals are just so wonderful. And this is a separate system, of course, so I could overdose the iodine and things if we did have it as a softy tank. However, we got a beautiful order from Corals Down Under recently, and utilized that order to fill this empty space for now. So it's all wild coral mainly. We have started to frag out some Montipora here, as we do, like to do a dabble in a bit of fragging. And of course, it's Sunday, right? So we've just had a really busy weekend of trading. I'm really keen. This is such a little cute thing, that Heteropsamia cochlea, the walking dendro, which is a single polyp LPS coral that actually has a subpunculid worm up its. It's got a little hole where the worm resides within its, I guess, foot slash butt. For all those at home, I'll just show you this little hole here. And
Yep.
so the worm drags the coral around on the substrate and obtains protection from the coral, and food from the substrate. And then that allows the coral to kind of, I guess, appear to be walking around. So it's so funky and under $20, which I think is just really fun.
Yeah, that's a great little idea for a little nano species tank or something like something that you can focus in on.
Yeah. Obviously not great for a bare bottom aquarium. But and so CDU sent us some wonderful hammers. There's some lovely discosoma here. Some wild Zoroarocs, which are always, they can be hit and miss, to be honest. Wild zoanthids are nothing like the aquacultured varieties. The long-term aquacultured and fragged and refragged zoanthids are just something else. I find them to be disease resilient. They tend not to have pests or any, potential hitchhikers and things. So there's always a bit of a long process transitioning wild rock zoanthids from live rock over to the porcelain, and then over to, and then captive grown, and then frag and frag. So you can see we've got some Giardini here, Cataphilia Giardini, and the wave maker here is actually, we got to maybe, change this a little, because the small, medium, and large have all just mounted here with the largest, but they're still awake, which is good news. Some wild Bonnie Opera.
I guess there's a couple of ways to organise systems. You could do it like you were saying, based on softies, stonies, and SPS or LPS, whatever. But you could also, in a way, do it as this is a captive propagated tank, and this is a wild collected tank. To try
precisely
and keep pests away from each other or anything like that. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a bummer that invert system isn't lit up. I'm so sorry. But in any case, I think there's a huge benefit to having separate systems for that one reason. Previously in the other store, we definitely had soft coral, LPS, SPS, and it was very easy then to direct people in kind of like quite a methodical fashion of, if you're a beginner, you should start here. If the soft corals are doing well for you, and once you feel a bit more comfortable with parameters and checking, then you can move on to some LPS, which is most newcomers kind of desirable. Everyone wants the wavy long tentacles, of course.
Anya, we've got lots of questions coming up, but
sorry, am I rambling?
No, well, hey, we agreed that I just direct you and nudge you in different directions.
I don't mind. I can multitask quite well. We can answer questions. We can look at Cam's display, the beginnings of the relocated remnants of Cam's display, rather.
Yeah, and the other frag tank you've got just around the corner from you, is that going to go dark as well soon? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, mate. Now. It looks like these blades didn't come to the party tonight. So this was initially the LPS system, because as that other system, the CDU one, has only been running for 2 weeks, but this was actually the very first aquarium. It's a Cade S2 5-footer, and this was a really nice space to have those LPS corals, because those blades are just so heavy in the blues, which of course those deeper water corals just absolutely relish. And so initially, as I said, the OCD in me I put all the chalice near, all our chalice frags. It's actually, this is from my stash tank. This is one, like the two Rhodactis collection rocks. Shane Danger made these porcelain, these ceramic rocks by hand, which is really cool. And this is my collection of bounced Rhodactis and some really shaggy Persian rugs and stuff because I'm just obsessed with them. But really, they're meant to go in the stash tank around the corner, and they will soon. So I'm awaiting, as you may know, the cyclonic kind of weather up on North Queensland at the moment has kind of prevented us from being able to obtain the most desirable selection of corals in the quantities that we would like. So currently, I think they've had a couple of days of great weather. So I think in the next week or two, we're going to start to see the wholesalers and the divers be presenting some stunning pieces of coral once again, and fish.
Well, let's not go there just yet. Do you want to find yourself a cozy spot and then turn the camera around?
Yeah, mate. I will.
Questions for you.
This is our front counter with our little kitchen. We've got our frozen food and stuff. So I'm gonna. we've got the little PNW Nano with all the little coral.
Yeah.
Still alive or awake, rather.
Is the manta shrimp still in there?
No, I had to take it out. It was damaging all the cleanup crew. It was driving me crazy because, I'm always a big advocate of heaps of snails, like a ridiculous number of snails. So we had about 20 to 30 and tiny snails in there. And the mantis was just collecting them into his little lair.
All right. Well, let's get stuck into it. Are you ready? We've got a couple of questions from Andrew Shiplock.
Yes. Hi, Andrew.
Came in even before you had arrived in store. Now, you might be able to see that on the screen there. Excuse me. I would love to hear Anya's thoughts on why live rock has become practically obsolete in Australia. Americans import out live rock from Cairns Marine and they sell it for $60 per kilo.
Okay. That's a really great question, Andrew. I think well thought out too. So there has been such a trend to promote, dry rock in recent years. And, as, you might have figured if I had my first tank in 1986, you can kind of probably reason that I've been working in the industry for a long time. It's, I think, 23 years or something like that now. So I certainly remember the days when live rock was, it. So I think it became touted as, avoid the pests and, add in what is missing and, begin from this sterile kind of environment and add the bacteria and add your cleanup crew and add, and of course, everyone in Australia here, we're pretty much all using natural seawater as we all live on the coast. So it's really starting to change again now, I feel. And I think, to be honest, that has come from speckling of influences in the US and even, Triton having set up their Triton Reef 2.0 up in Cairns and promoting the enormous benefits of using live rock in your system. And I mean, the ugly phase and stuff, I don't really remember it being such a thing. So I have a few thoughts though, because I also think biological media has certainly come a long way and over the years, and nothing beats, in my opinion, those sump setups that are just packed full to the brim, maximizing that surface area to volume ratio of the biological media in as much capacity as possible. And, you pick up a bio brick or whatever brand, XYZ brand, and it'll say, this little brick is going to filter a 1,000 liter aquarium, right? And so people purchase this thing, and it might have a kilometer of surface area and it might have that bacteria, but let's think about water, people. It's going to go around. If it can go a different direction, it's not going to really necessarily have that contact time with that media, right? So
I guess the question is then, is Gallery Aquatica going to stock live rock?
That is a great question, and our team tends to make decisions as a group, right? And we're currently debating this very fact. So it's quite funny that you asked that, Andrew. And as for, so we order in live rock as a custom order for people. We certainly used to sell it at the Wynnum store when we first opened. The price of live rock has really increased, and you asked that at the end of that question, and I really think. So let's say it's a 20-kilo box of live rock that we have to order. So we get the client into the mindset that they're going to be ordering a box of live rock, and we're going to be meeting them. You know, we pick it up from the airport with our order, and they're going to come and get that box and take it home. And we school them, of course, on the risks and benefits of, potential hitchhikers and nuisance algae and stuff, of course. But and some people, they're old school reefers, of course, and they're like, no, just give me the live rock. And it's there's different grades of live rock. So we've sold, if I can say, some boxes are 400 a box, 500 a box, 600 a box, which these kinds of that's pretty hefty pricing, right? So it is actually of benefit, I believe, to have a live rock system here, where someone just wants one or two pieces, because they still get that beneficial bacteria that way. Sorry to, pardon?
That will happen. You'll have a system dedicated there.
I really want one. I want like a pond or something fun, like maybe under the invert system if we don't put the cladding there, or maybe we just need to fit it somewhere. Which will make the space, but really too, it's important to remember you can do reefing so many different ways, and people with live rock will, potentially get bryopsis, and they will have aptasia and maybe mantis shrimp. And one time I was unpacking live rock, and I was walking up the ladder because we had it up top, and the rock broke, and a little octopus ran up my arm. It was both freaky and fantastic all at the same time. I was just like, I'm not scared of spiders at all, but it was really quite shocking. So that's kind of fun. But sorry, the quota system, that's another reason why the pricing has gone up, because they've lumped live rock in with, and as you may have touched previously, it's only 1%. Like the current quota system is now, of course, by weight, and the collectors are only able to obtain a very small percentage of tonnage compared to what they used to, which started a couple of years back. So you can either make a lot more money on Aquapora, because Aqua is quite lightweight, and you can sell it per piece, and it won't degrade your tonnage, or you could sell live rock, and so they don't really sell the live rock much.
Well, it's going to have to. The price is going to have to compete with the price of coral, I guess. Anya, while you read that little comment down there, I think I remember when it was bulk resupply, and Ryan, that was back then, was really pushing the dry rock to be able to glue together with the powdered sand and do all these fantastic aquascapes.
Yeah, the Marco rock. That's right, and that's right too, and that's kind of happened as well, right? That it's like we've discovered that it's no longer okay to just make this big wall of rock, because of the phosphate buildup, and we're trying to maximize flow, and we're trying to have a minimal footprint. And by having engineered rock, you can really manipulate these crazy overhangs and bridges, and do really funky ideas that sometimes even I think reefing, aquascaping is kind of taking on some of the ideas from like Takashi Amano and freshwater aquascaping, which I think is quite interesting. And I don't know if it's a narrative as that last comment, as much as like we make more money out of live rock. We make more money if you get pests. Do you know what I mean? Like it's true. I will sell Aptasia X and all the things, and algae treatments, and things to solve your cyano and frostban. However, we
all
care. Like it really is bad dealing with bryopsis,
But the thing is,
and
do you
bubble
know
algae.
do you know anyone that hasn't dealt with bryopsis or aptasia or something? Everyone does.
Bingo. And that's very, very important to think.
Anyway.
And new reefers are so scared by all this stuff, but almost everything is manageable. I mean, there are some prevalent pests, Monty nudibranch or acro-eating flatworm or something, or zoa eating nudibranchs. In my case, like that would really freak me out because I'm just such a zoa hoarder. But
this might be the right question for you, Anya. Good questions. I just want to know Anya's favorite coral. Pratty87.
Oh man.
One coral.
One species of coral?
Yeah. Or one genus.
One genus? Maybe we can do genus.
And we will include the
zoanthids aren't truly, a coral.
No, we can.
Well, then I'd have to.
We'll just say one.
I'll definitely have to say
Nidarian.
Zoas, but I love Rhodactis and Leptocerus and Montipora and
just one.
Okay.
Now there's been lots, and where are we here? Got any question? I'm just going back because there was a stack coming in. You've got 52 people watching you right now.
Oh, hello everyone! Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you're having a chilled out Sunday night too.
It's going to get even more.
This is my stash tank. Ta-da!
Yeah, you do that.
The Red Sea Lights are on a very strange program, so it's looking very brown, but that's okay. Soft
Guys,
corals.
Sorry, Anya. I was just going to say to the chat, rather than me having to search through to try and find the questions from the past, if you want to pop them up, re-ask them so I can.
Okay.
So I can find them again. That would be good. But Anya, guess what?
What?
It's time for hard chat. Hard chat is my next little segment where we get to ask Anya, or our guest in this case, some of the questions that might just be a little bit thought-provoking and a little bit back to front. I know I'm stealing the idea from a comedian on Australian television, but that's okay because this is Aquariums Anonymous. Are you ready for hard chat?
Shoot.
I've got my notes over here. All right. What is the best thing about the Wynnum store that you won't be able to achieve in Tingalpa?
I think the element of true coziness, because nothing kind of compares to that packed in sense of look at all these gems and treasures and perfectly arranged. Like we just utilized that tiny space to the nth degree after that decade or more. And everywhere you looked, even though it was such a small space, you could stay there for so long and you still wouldn't see it all, or there'd still be like a little treasure because we had frag racks everywhere and little racks and big racks and height and under and products. There's so many products upstairs right now in the storeroom that we can't fit down here. However, how is that possible? We could fit them at Wynnum, right? It's very strange.
So you know what you need to do? You need to jam the living crap out of your Tingalpa store to get that feeling back. All right, question number 2. What is the worst advice you've ever given a customer?
Ooh, the worst advice I've ever given a customer.
Yes.
There was probably 1 or 2 times that I lost some sleep because
you can go back to when you were a teen, like I got emojis on the screen. What in the world did I do?
I was way more clever, particularly in freshwater. Like I was like a freshwater freak, 20 years ago. I was working at a cichlid farm, a catfish breeding farm. Like I was there was no internet, but I had all the books. I had all the fish geek friends. I went to the auctions. I went to the fish clubs. I knew every single genus, species of every single freshwater fish and plant, and so I've been in a lot of, at one point I had a partner that had capped me at 30 aquariums, and I remember begging for more. Like, I was just like, no, but I really wanted one skippers or whatever.
But Anya,
Sorry, the worst advice I've ever given is probably allowing someone, as in like going, yeah, I think you'd be all right to not use RO water for a top off.
fair call. Fair call.
They were desperate.
fair call.
That's gross, man. I would never do that.
I won't go into what I'm doing at my shed. All right. Just to lighten things up a little bit,
Yeah.
what is the proudest moment you've ever had, either in your hobby or your industry? One, just one.
Yeah. The first, just one. The first thing that comes to mind, though, the more I think of others that could compete, but I'll just say one. First thing that comes to mind, and I don't want to seem like I'm tooting my own horn, but I was very close friends with Jake Adams, right? Like we used to message all the time. I don't even need to justify, there's no one else on this planet that I could talk to about coral like that and feel like I'm not bothering them and feel like they might not be interested or whatever, right? Because that enthusiasm that was a completely shared passion, right? And it did, and he used to message me all the time, and anyway. So when he passed away, rest in peace, not long after, I did a live stream with Keith Burkelhammer, right? Reef Bum.
Yep.
And I went to America a number of times to go to MACNA, before America went a bit wild. And I had the pleasure of meeting so many big reefing names. And that's not, I'd already met Jake but then. But I remember walking around on the showroom floor, and some people, they judge me, and they always have, blonde hair, female, it's getting a lot better in 2026. But, in my teens and stuff, I was managing aquariums, and you just get that customer that'd be like, can I see the boss, please? Or can you ask that guy over there, or I'm just waiting for him. Anywho, and most of these Americans, they didn't always, they weren't always very warm initially when we were walking around the showroom floor, right? And I knew who they were, of course. And Jake, he had gone around to these people and tried to open their, he said really nice things about me. I didn't know this at all, to these people so that they would respect me or give me a bit more of their time. And Keith told me on this live stream, and it's on YouTube, like we can go back and watch it, he told me that I was the real deal. And because he stayed on our couch a few times, and he'd seen the prop room, and we geeked out over corals, of course, every time. And the store was only 300 meters away from our house. So we would, crossing the road and going back and forth. Anyway, and he just said the most beautiful things about me to Keith. And he never said that to me directly. I knew that we were great mates, and that he knew that I was obsessed with coral and stuff, and we geeked out heaps over different things. Like, we'd chat about stuff, and then I'd wake up at 5 a.m. and he'd write an article about it, or I'd just send him a photo and be like, what do you reckon about this idea or whatever? And that was always the biggest shock to me, that he thought it was reef builders worthy or whatever, and when Keith said that, I was sort of so struck, and I was really proud, and I miss him so much.
Yeah. I remember hearing Keith's live stream with you, and hearing that the comment was that Jake had said that you were among the smartest minds in coral, captive coral, or something along those lines.
He did say something like that. And that is just the most insane compliment. And it's just, I talk a lot. I'm speechless.
All right. Another question for you. If you could never keep marines again, what would be the first creature you would turn to?
Never keep marines again.
Never.
Oh. Okay.
What would be the first thing that you would put? Let's break it down to a glass box. What would be the thing that you would keep?
Lizards.
Cool.
I love lizards. Yeah. I bred a lot of lizards while I was at university. It was very, very lucrative for me. I absolutely adore lizards.
Yeah. You know what you should
and I love terrariums, like the moss, the plants, the ferns. Love plants. So
okay, very cool. All right, one more question. When it comes to the aquarium world, what creature is your arch nemesis? The one that you've never been able to crack, but you dearly want to?
Ooh, that's a great question. Creature nemesis.
It can be a coral. It can be a coral. It can be a fish.
Yeah, I'm thinking about a coral. I've never failed with a coral.
Oh, you're just boasting a bit there, aren't you?
Well, I don't try. There was this really rare, I think it's like Oculina or I need to Google it. It's been a long time, but one awesome coral collector in Mackay found one once. It's a really, really old genus of coral that they thought was extinct. It starts with O and it's white with blue. It looks a little bit like spaced out branching Cyphastria. This is what they call baby brain people. Yes.
All right.
Words don't come. So I'm thinking that it was a non-photosynthetic coral. I had Truncatoflabellum veroni at the time, thriving. I've got no problems with sun corals. A lot of NPS corals doing great, But that I really regretted losing that. I tried everything. Everything I thought at the time. So honestly, I'll put in the comments. I'll Google it and I'll put it in the YouTube comments.
All right. And that was. I love that. Right.
Good job.
Now, let me just. Oh, are you still selling the Jake Adams shirts?
Yeah, I think they're on our website. I haven't had much of an opportunity to kind of delve into our website lately, but yeah, it's they're made, like the design is just made in one of those companies that ships all around the world for you, because that way we didn't have to worry about shipping to different countries and so on. So yeah, I'm fairly certain. Yes. And also actually for everyone that may be overseas, I was asked by Two Little Fishies, Julian Sprung, if he could sell it through Two Little Fishies. And yes, so keen. Love Julian Sprung. He's my absolute number one idol. That was like one of the proudest, as well, meeting Julian. However, I'm struggling a little bit with obtaining the file. So yeah, because our design guy no longer works for us. And we've lost a little bit of data and things like that. So unfortunately, I don't just have that design file. It's not easily accessible to me, but it's on my to-do list.
And as I've learned tonight, Anya is fantastic with biology and chemistry, but is pretty well useless when it comes to technology.
Absolutely. Not even kidding. I can barely charge my phone, guys. It's that great. I'm great at technology. I'm really bad at technology, but it's fine. Everyone's good at something.
All right. Now, I think we're good to go. Do you want to show us? We need to see Cam's display.
The freshwater room? Oh, the display. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to turn the camera back.
Before we do this.
Yeah.
How are you going for your vodka? Do you have enough to?
I just got another one.
Geez, you're sneaky, aren't you?
Pardon?
Sneaky. I've
got a little rotating stool here. So I just kind of, slid my way over to the freezer. Remind me that I left those cans in the freezer because that will be gross tomorrow.
I think somebody say that.
Oh, wow, this is good. I get to just say a comment like, how's your drink? And all of a sudden my wife appears to refill my glass.
Wow. That
know.
is a good wifey.
She's a keeper, isn't she? That's Jane. So that's your stash tank there, Anya.
It sure is. And apologies for everyone at home that the Red Sea lights are on a very odd setting. They're just like yellow in real life here, so I'm not going to use this. However, this is how it looks today. And you can still see the species. You just can't enjoy any of the fluorescence. But my stash tank has now turned into 2 bommies. Very, very heavy with a whole range of interesting soft corals. These octocorals are ones that either come hitchhiking on the base of LPS and things that are collected, which I just find to be such a treasure. And even Russell Kelly himself struggles a little bit with identifying some of these ones. There's a lot of like Suspicularia and Xenidae, but as for the real species, they're so undetermined because they're doing genetic testing right now and they're just rewriting all the different species of soft corals, and I don't know if they're ever going to actually have a comprehensive kind of guide to it because there's just so many. There's hundreds of species of Sinularia. Anyway.
Well, Sinularia is now, what is it, sclerophyton, I think.
Exactly.
Anya, can I have a question for myself?
That's Cladiella.
I
think that's Cladiella, yeah.
Yeah, what I call a blue Suspicularia, I believe, is no longer Suspicularia. But do you have any success growing it? Because
I do. I'm on Zoom.
Do you get it to stay blue?
Yeah, potassium is my trick for a lot of corals, but particularly the blues. Do you find it's like rotting at the base, Adam, or what's occurring when you say it's not working?
It seems to just turn that same sort of alveopora creamy browny color, and then it tends to sort of shrink back a bit.
Okay, so sorry, I really want to talk about this coral. So can I just? Sorry, I'm just gonna quickly run over here. I just need to see if we've still got some. So these are the frags, right? And at $50, right? Yep, they're going to sleep a bit, but there's a blue, and then a green, and then a blue and a green. So Adam, why don't I send you a blue and a green and see how you go with the aquacultured ones? You know. So
you think that there could be,
we've had them for years and years, right? Like years. And the blue is like glittery, like sparkly. It's beautiful.
Okay.
In my stash tank, in my soft coral tank at home, it's really doing well. So this one is my new, like, what are you? It came from Corals Down Under, so I've only had it for 2 weeks. Oh man, this Zoom is terrible.
It's all right. No, it's fine. Just hold the camera still. You'll be right.
Sorry. So it appears to look like Clavularia a little, right? It's got that kind of part, and it's asleep. Right, it's sleeping right now. So, it kind of looks a little bit like it's mimicking Clavularia, or maybe organ pipe coral, Tubipora, but it's a mat like GSP. And it's very clearly, I think it's in a Xenidae or very close, and it is like a violet color. And I think it's actually going to do quite well. Like it just looks really robust and fast growing. So I made 3 or 4 frags because I always do that when something's rare. I first cut it in half, then I wait, and then I cut one half into bits, and then I hoard the big half. So this is the hoard of the big half. So I'm really looking forward to propagating this, hopefully for the next reef show, or at least for our website. But that is so freaking cool. Like, wow, love that. And it's just imagine if it's like GSP, like it it's just such a different texture to what we usually kind of have on offer.
Well, I think the hobby is starting to wake up a bit to texture, whereas it's been all about fluorescence and color. Now I feel like, especially, and we're going to see your home tank, and I was looking at the video and you've got that mangrove light over it, but all of a sudden I'm starting to see colors and I'm starting to hear about warm white diodes, and I think it's the dawn of the soft coral. Anya, I've got a question for you. You've got Sinularia dura behind it, is it? There?
That's
Which
correct,
I think is the last remaining Sinularia. Have you ever seen that grow? Like, how does it grow as a colony? Does it get large? I've never seen it as a full-size colony.
I have, and you know what? I think what we are calling Sinularia dura possibly has subspecies, you know, because I've seen some that are almost mimicking a scrolling Montipora. Darren Hatfield down at Reef Secrets has a really pronounced, like, large colony in one of his display tanks. Possibly his Red Sea is a softy tank as well, and it looks phenomenal. What you guys can't see is this is actually like a toxic green color, so it's actually quite striking when the LEDs are on, and I love how you can mimic branches, you know, and so many different textures without having hard and difficult corals. Like, really, it's incredible. And in this day and age, with fuel prices and cost of living rises and things, I actually am really enjoying how many clients are coming through and they just want easy, they want impact, they want, you know, robust, and they're buying more and more soft corals, which is really fun.
You know, I think, Anya, we've got a comment, not a question here. It's from Dingo Dave 13. He says, Anya, your enthusiasm is infectious, although you still won't get me to salt water. But he's appreciating the enthusiasm.
Thanks for watching, mate.
Anya,
well, one day, you never know.
Well, it might be soft coral that's the way to go. Anya, do you think that maybe, because we're talking about soft coral, it's a chance that maybe we should buzz to your home display tank video?
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Do you want to put it onto your front screen?
Have a look. So Cam's display is, you know, there, and the lights are nice and bright, and the freshwater room's just all that you hear us. So that's all sweet. Yeah, nothing's going to sleep here. We can definitely go to my home tank. I'll have a vodka. Hey.
All right. You can get another vodka. Turn your camera around so we can see your face when you react to your clown and your Blenny at home. And I'll put us, and then I will do. I'm getting used to this technology. It's taking a bit. Here we go.
Me too. I'm so proud of myself. Look at me go.
Let me start at the beginning, and I'll let you. I can pause at any stage that you wish,
Okay.
So you can have a tip, or I can just let it go. You know, either way.
No, it's all right. I don't know what I'm going to say, but this is my super simple softy setup. It's a secondhand Mini Reef 120. And, you know, it's stacked and packed full. And if you see some earlier videos on our YouTube when this tank begun, these corals were all pretty much like frags from Sustainable Reefs and very, very small. And I was trying, of course, to find the most long polyp leathers I can. You can see there I've got the storm clownfish. Unfortunately, my last trip away, I lost the little male, so got to get another little boy from coastal clownfish. We don't even know what happened. I do have a dog, so potentially Jumper and anywho, so these are organ pipe collection. I love how some of these organ pipes, not only do they have color diversity, like extreme color diversity, like some are more yellow, blue, purple, green. I haven't really found many emerald, but anyway, when you look at the actual morphology, there's like fused tentacles and flat tentacles, and some are like filamentous, like feathery. That's so cool.
Organs, they're pipe organs.
Yeah.
I thought they were Clavularia when I saw it.
Did ya? Yeah, no, see, they're organ pipes. And there's a really cool one you can't see in this angle behind with a blue, it's green with a blue mouth, from Sustainable Reefs as well. And so my dream, because as you may or may not know, I'm going to upgrade this tank to a much bigger one in this space. And this is just the beginnings of like a mound that I'm going to do of all organ pipe. I'm really excited about that. And they grow so well. Like, you know, they look a bit roughed up when they come in from the wild, but very quickly they kind of fill in all the gaps of the lit end, you know, the side that's got the light just grows more and more.
Anya, is it true that with the pipe organs, because they've got that skeleton, that that they can get a bit of crap that settles amongst the little tubules, and that can cause issues? Have you got any experience with that?
Yeah, and I do, because, you know, I frag coral, of course, and when I cut apart wild pieces particularly, you can have like quite invasive sponge in amongst those tubes. Bristleworms, you know, I'm not a fan of bristleworms at all. I don't like brittle stars either. Unpopular opinion, but this is my truth. They all annoy my beautiful coral, you know, and you can go away now. And I have, there's way better cleanup crew options out there, if you ask me, to bristleworms and brittle stars. But a lot of things like that can come in with them. As for like the density of these, particularly when they're aquacultured or grown in captivity, they're really compact when they grow in an aquarium, so that captive growth. So they don't really trap a lot, I think, when they're grown in captivity. Yeah.
So I don't know a lot about pipe organ, but do they? I'm assuming they close down at night time. And So at night time, would you say it's important to maintain your daytime flow to sweep the skeleton clean? Or because some people like to ramp their flow down a little bit during the night, thinking that the ocean can't.
I have a very noisy wave maker. Cam dropped it on the concrete once, apparently, and that's why it's noisy. And so we turn that one off when we're watching a movie or whatever. But I have 3 wave makers in that Mini Reef 120, and that's the like soft corals can really handle a lot of flow. And I have a shitload of flow in that aquarium, like a fuck ton. You know, it's people do really underestimate how much light and and flow soft corals love. You know, I've got the AI Hydra on there. I've got Reef Brights on there, and I've got the little mangrove light. You know, and so I've got 3 sets of lighting as well. And people are always like, "Oh, I'm going to put my softie down because they don't need light." No, they love light.
I was in Vanuatu last year with a couple of mates, and one mate and one new mate. And what I found on this coastal fringing reef in intertidal waters that were being exposed at low tide, like out of the water, were lobophilias. And they were surrounded by things like Acropora robusta. And it was just great. And then you go down slightly, maybe about 1 to 2 meters under the low tide surface, and you're hitting sarcophytans, and they were the big sort of yellow Fiji style ones. It was just, and it's just pounding the shoreline.
Yes. Like when you go diving, you can't even hold on to like take a photo, you know, it's just smashing it. And people are like, "Oh, I got this tiny little wave maker." Dude, you need a lot of flow. And I have 3 wave makers, and I move the back one around all the time to like dislodge different sediment traps that I have around here. And I kind of enjoy seeing all the sediment and bacterial mold kind of be reconsumed by the coral polyps as well. I really enjoy that. That leather at the very surface is like a more bluey, tealy kind of sarco, and it's enormous. It's just enormous. Like it's huge. Yeah, that's it. Excuse me. And I took this footage this morning, so sorry I left this to the last minute. But it actually gets quite long polyps. But can I tell you guys a secret, seeing as we're on, you know, this
hang on.
Aquarium Addicts channel, and it's a safe space. You told me it's a safe space.
This is a safe space. You can divulge anything that you want to. Cam's not listening. Okay.
Are the Broncos playing right now?
Come on, it's
haven't
all
done a
you
water
now.
change on that tank. It's
haven't?
been at least a year. At least 1 year since I've done a water change on that tank. I have had a baby. I definitely didn't do a water change while I was pregnant. That's 9 months of that, right? And the kid is 10 months old. So you do the math.
I hope you've checked the salinity, have you? Is it the top-off system?
I do that. It doesn't have an ATO, so that's a definite upgrade when I get the new tank. But so I'm manually, I'm adding RO, and I'm dosing a lot of iodine and nickel and manganese.
I started dosing Lugol's iodine.
Well, you're playing with fire. No, this.
But it was because I'm dosing 26 drops of Lugol's iodine to 4,000 litres twice a week.
My son Archer just messaged me. Do you know how weird that is? He's 6 years old. And he said, "We're watching you." I'm watching you, buddy. Hi, Mummy. So I know my co-workers are going to hate me for saying that I don't want to change my octocoral setup. But honestly, it just shows how robust, resilient they are. I go home and I all day long, I talk to people about doing the right thing. And I go home and it looks amazing.
Anya,
I know it can look better, but it looks amazing.
Life. It's life.
It's bringing me joy.
How much do you think the leather coral terpenoid kind of story is affecting SBS corals in an aquarium? Is that legit?
I definitely think it's legit. There is a number of cases over the years that I have seen unexplained mortalities in Acropora that are downstream of a particular Sinularia, right?
Sinularia.
So, so I think the issues begin when it's wave maker, softy, acro, like that.
Yeah.
So, and I think you can use carbon and you can use plenty of resins and all kinds of amazing filtration, but in that moment, that's like directly releasing that toxin onto those acro. And I mean, there's no joke about mixed reefing is undoubtedly the hardest way to reef. Mixed reefs, wow. Imagine trying to keep all those species optimum health, growth, and requirements in a glass box in a closed system when like people say to me, "Oh, but my hammer's good," or whatever. Think about how different you and I are, and we are the same species, right? And people are like comparing, "Oh, the blasto is good, but the torch isn't, so everything should be fine because there's so much variation genetically in mixed reef. Like that is just wild that we're trying that. So.
The other thing is when you look back
in the wild, they all live together, right? So
there's a lot of water.
In Bali, when we went diving, it was like Sarco, acro, like it was soft coral, acro, but it's not a closed system.
No, I just jumped. Yeah. We've got some more video of Anya's home tank. We're going to look at the lights, the mangrove, and the fish. So let's just make. There was a question.
Fish, tippet. It is your bedtime, honey. School tomorrow.
How about this one? Anya, you've been in the marine aquaristics game for a while, and I have a question for you. This is Wee Wurtles G. What's the best way to transport corals over long periods of time? Do you know? I'm pretty sure she knows.
Oh, I know. I have done some extensive volumes of shipping corals in my time, and I am a strong advocate of using carbon. I'm very specific about the carbon that I like. My favorite carbon is actually Aquaforest carbon, and it's a rod carbon. It's quite large and sort of soft, if I can say that. The chipped, small, grainy carbon infuriates me. Okay, it's got more surface area to volume ratio, so its efficacy could be better, but
like the Red Sea one. The Red Sea stuff is granular and small and chippy.
Is it? Roller carbon is an example of, like, it looks like pepper, right? Like pepper. So that kind of carbon sticks to slimy corals. It can be consumed, like it goes into the mouths. A number of wholesalers use that carbon, and I'm not judging you, but it's a really difficult thing to be unpacking with transit. Am I judging you? I heard the carbon. No. So basically, you can always remove carbon, but when it's like the size of pepper grains, mate.
Yep.
And you know, the LPS like spitting it out. Okay, so lots of oxygen, like concentrated oxygen. We're using medical grade oxygen. You know, we don't skimp on our animals at all.
Yep.
You have to clearly use, you know, foam boxes, lots of packing material. I have ordered heaps of coral from around Australia from lots of different coral vendors, and everybody packs differently. I am personally not an enormous fan of the pea jar concept. One, where's your air? What are you doing? Two, is banging around some plastic. I understand plastic bags is a little wasteful, but hello, this is potentially a couple of $100 frag we're talking about here. It's worth it.
Have you played with the idea, maybe for expensive SBS, of attaching them to a styrofoam float?
Yeah, you can do that. I mean, we always use a very expensive courier. I don't care that, you know, but the TNT Overnight Express costs more, but they haven't failed yet. And even if they do, like, we're packing for like mentally a 72-hour just in case, you know, but it's always 24 hours. I mean, 48 hours, no problem. But I want to tell a story. So there was a guy down, what's the snow? Is it the Blue Mountains down in the New South Wales? It's really snowy.
No, the Blue Mountains is west of Sydney. So the Snowy Mountains is down near Jindabyne, past Canberra.
Okay. It was Blue Mountains, right? So this guy ordered a really giant triggerfish, and I was not so keen to. I can't remember. I have a feeling it was a Stars and Stripes
triggerfish.
Maybe?
Let's just say it was a clown trigger.
A pufferfish. Stars and Stripes. Pufferfish. Yeah,
pufferfish.
Yeah. People, honestly, if you're a mum, you will understand. I'm feeding a baby all night. My brain, it's real. Okay, the brain fog is real. So anyway, I sent this giant.
We're just going to check this, Anya. We're going to check it. Is this
Stars and Stripes, or are you checking brain fog? Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. A pufferfish. Of course it's a freaking pufferfish. Jesus Christ. I can't believe this is on YouTube forever. It's going to haunt me till the day I die. Anyway, so we shipped this giant fish, right, in a 20-kilo phone box. At the very last minute, the client said, "Hey, what gonny have you got? Can you send some gonny frags?" So he was like two separate invoices, right? And it was the middle of winter, and the whole stressor for all of us was that fish. You know, it's gotta be good. He was adamant he didn't want it air freighted, which these days that's the only way we actually ship fish. But I'm open to anyway. Not this story. So he gets the he gets the fish. Everything's good. I'm relieved. You know, he doesn't mention the gonny at all. 1 week later, in the Blue Mountains, you know, we don't have snow in Queensland. Can't even imagine. He's like, "Oh my God, Anya! I was just out near the shed and I had this, and I was looking through the phone box and you had the gonny frags in there." And I shit myself, you know. I was just like, oh man, they were rare gonny frags. They were XE, you know. definitely a couple $100 worth of Gonny frags, maybe $500. And I was devastated because some of them were unrepeatable. And I was waiting for the next bit, and he's like, "They're all alive!" Like, what? You know, that heat pack wasn't heating anymore. It only lasts 24 hours a heat pack, you know. So I was shocked. And it's the carbon, it's the oxygen, it's the packing, it's the extra little bits that we don't skimp on that must have contributed to the survivability of those frags.
Well, like I said to you this afternoon about fish. I bought some orange line cardinals from you a few months back. Brought them home. They were bagged in 4 or 5. I can't remember now. And did all the acclimation process. Put the cut plastic bags back in the styro and left it there because it's a shed. I'll get to it later. I got to it later the following weekend, so about 6 days later, and I went to pull out the plastic to put in the red bin, and there was a full bag in there. And I thought, oh, it's just a bag full of air just to try and stop them from rolling around in the styrofoam. I pulled it out, and there was 5 very pale cardinal fish sitting in there with some carbon bouncing around the bottom, and they're alive.
Bingo. And everyone that's ever worked here knows our massive rule is never put more than 1 fish in a bag. And I did it because did you get 20 cardinals? It was 20, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I knew you were driving, and I knew like how annoying to unpack 20 bags, you know. And I talked to you about it too. I'm like, some people ship multiples, some people don't. That is incredible.
You're definitely very good at packing, that's for sure.
I did back in the YouTube days when we had a videographer full time. We did do a video on our YouTube channel about the extent that I go to pack out these orders, and all the staff that do the pack outs now do exactly the same as what that standard is still exactly the same. You know, heat packs, ice packs, many layers, oxygen, carbon, lots of tape even, because I have received once a phone box with like a hole kicked into it. No, not on my watch, buddy. Not my livestock, because we guarantee it, you know.
That'd be Team Global Express.
Pardon?
That'd be Team Global Express.
Oh my God. I was once at the airport, and I was on like a double-sided mirror thing, and I was waiting for my clam box of aquacultured clams. I think it was from AquaRums, I think. And the workers were like playing football with my clams, like, and I was sitting in the waiting, and I was like, no, like banging on the window, like, don't do it. And they were okay, but mate, you just never know. You never know.
Anya, I got a question for you about AquaRums, but quick comment. So great to see the passion for the well-being of the animals and the corals you send.
Oh, cheers, mate. Thank you.
Is AquaRums still? I saw a lot of Facebook stuff for a while about 6 months ago, and he was getting some production of the red line cleaner shrimp, and I think they're being sent to the Eastern States. Is what's happening there now?
I don't really know. I actually haven't, you know, as you can reason, I had the time off having the baby and stuff, and haven't heard a single thing about AquaRums. Sorry, I can't answer that one for you, mate. But you know what? Let's find out. Like, let's look into that this week. Right. I know he was breeding peppermint shrimp, and red lines would be amazing. I feel like we would have seen them on the market, or maybe heard more about that.
Because like Australians get upset and jealous of Americans spending $30 for a red line cleaner shrimp, and Americans get blown away that we spend $180?
Oh, for a red line?
That's
like $280.
$280?
They're on special for $220 at the moment because, you know, I know times are tough, but
and why is that?
$280.
They're just not in Australian waters. What's the situation? They're not here.
I think there's a bit of a monopoly. Maybe not a lot of people are selling them. So, or like maybe I don't have the contact that has them cheaper. I don't know, but I went to America and I saw like a blood shrimp. There are $300 shrimp here too, and I saw hundreds of them, and they're just so prolific in Indonesia. where, you know, we can't obviously import anything. So there's that. And overseas, you know, they're just selling so cheap.
On crabs, the whole kit and caboodle. We get sexy shrimp. It's just like,
oh, and the Harlequin shrimp, right? Like $3,500 when we last had a pair.
really. I just realised this should be the thumbnail. $3,500. That's crazy.
And they sold. Like someone bought them.
Was about to ask. Did you sell them? Holy crap!
Because that's the thing. You can put a price on something, but it actually isn't that value. It is if someone buys it.
Someone buys it. All right. Well, let's keep going with the rest of your home tank so we can see your fishes. Well, no, not fishes.
This is our top down. That's right. And I've had a number of fish in here, up to 6, I think, max. Had a coral goby, a little PJ wrasse, my pair of clowns. Oh yeah, that's that Cispicularia, you know, the blue. That I'm telling you, I'll send you one. There's a green on the right hand there, and I think I focused on this just to show you. Oh yeah, probably different lighting, blue light, white light, sunlight.
I've got a question for you. And this really shows it because I can see you've got the body of the coral, soft coral, attached to what looks like a bit of staghorn or something, bit of old live rock, and then that's been glued to the frag plug. But have you got tips? Like I get my larger Singularia or now Sclerophytum colonies puffing off youngsters, and I go, have you got tips?
Sorry, Michelle. I laughed too hard. Sorry, it fell on the ground. I'm all good. Okay. Yes, Singularia is puffing off, as you said.
Yeah, puffing off. That's the technical term, Anya.
Yeah.
You got to use that now.
Of course it is.
It's puffing off youngsters, and I've gone and placed it carefully inside an empty mussel shell because I feed a lot of green-lit mussels to my butterflies. Okay. And then I've got a rubber band, and I put a rubber band kind of doing that thing to try and keep it in there.
That is the rubber band technique is a thing, yeah.
But it seems to no matter how gentle you are, you got the flow versus the cutting into the flesh of the coral. Have you got some tips about how to maybe attach soft coral pieces in your own aquarium? Hang on, I'm going to put the spotlight back on you.
So I liked it. We use a like a 3D printed kind of a trap. It's right next to my knee. I'll just grab one. Hang on.
And there's an onion stash.
It's a big one, right? It's pretty big. Oh, right. And it's got like this fancy. So it's called a megamorph hospital because the little ones are a morph hospital for like Discosoma, and then there's a Rick hospital for like, you know, Recordia and Rhodactis and stuff. And these are all based around a certain ceramic tile that fits snugly in, and they've got like a base so you can pop it out, you know, so if you've got the tile there, you can then just pop out the tile with the attached pieces and then cut the tile and frag onto plugs. And that's what you saw there. So we would have had a tile and then rubble or like frag plug, you know, the stems that people ask us to cut off. Off a frag plug, or you could use shells or bits of coral skeleton, stuff like that. And the beauty of this is that it's got that mesh, and it's clear, so it allows for the light, of course, to enter, so that it can generate its own energy and grow, you know, and grow to attachment, and it prevents flow. So that lower amount of flow allows for the attachment. And so you can make your own, you know, mesh, a rubber band, and a butter container or something. You know, this is fancy. It's cheap anyway. So something like that is perfect.
Has it got like a magnet attachment to the side of the tank, like a frag rack would?
No, but that's a great idea. I've seen other, like Coral Cartel does a range of 3D printed stuff. I think they do a a hospital trappy thing with a suction cap. You could use a magnet. We just put it on the bottom because a lot of these kinds of things, you don't really want to put it on a rack. Like, I don't know, it's just taking up so much space, so you kind of hide it somewhere around the back, and then you come back and you're like, oh my god, look at my frags.
But the average person hasn't got a frag tank. They're going to have a display tank.
That's right. Somewhere in their display.
Yeah, and so
it's still a display. You want it to look nice, right? Like, I always put these kinds of, treasures like hiding behind my scape or something. I don't forget about them, but I kind of like forgetting about them because then I'm like, oh, let's check that. And then once they are properly attached, we can take out the tile and clip them. But there's also, you could use a toothpick, Adam, with your Sinularia, right. And then you can glue, because the glue won't stick to the coral tissue, of course, but it will stick to the wood. And the wood will degrade over time, but hopefully by that time the tissue will grow over and it won't matter anymore.
So what you're saying is the only way to effectively attach a soft coral fragment to a hard surface is to spear it or to trap it inside an enclosed container where it can't get out.
Yes, the rubber band method has potential to work, but I feel like the rubber band itself will degrade before the point of attack. Like, I mean, if you dosed a lot of amino acids and heaps of iodine, maybe you'll beat the rubber band degradation.
Like Lugol's. Yeah.
It's there's a lot of different techniques with soft corals, and none of them are really wrong. I've seen someone do like a really fancy 3D printed like piercing screw thing. It's a little bit hard to explain. But it's like a clamp with a point, and you kind of pierce it. Yeah.
This is getting
lucky they don't feel pain. Sentient beings, people, sentient beings.
All right, we're going back to Anya's. We're going to her fish. No, that's not fish, but it will be soon.
And look at those Sakura Sunrise, pesky buggers. I didn't even add them in my tank, and they're just the whole back wall is Sakura Sunrise. Damn it! I have some GSP too, which I like.
A weed is only a plant that's out of place, or a coral out of place.
This is true. This is true. So this is. See those interesting? That's a wild Suspicularia, a blue glitter Suspicularia.
Hang on. And
so see how like that new growth is like, what do I say? Fingering out, pointing out, like plating out on the right hand side there.
Like Shrek's ears.
Yeah, yeah. It's like looking for something to attach to, right? Okay. And that's a macro shot of that with a proper underwater camera would show it's glittery. It's a stunning. That's another one I need to frag. I got that one from Monsoon, from Juno. Yeah, go Juno. And this is me just showing I have so much light. Like I've got these the mangrove light. I've got the reef brights. I've got the AI Hydra. So yeah, softies love light. I like the reef brights because of the angle. Yeah.
I guess the real question is being Polish. Are you just trying to get a tan with these lights, or what's the go?
Look, my dad is quite dark-skinned. He's got that Russian dark. We're in a bit of debate about his nationality, actually, currently with my family. But my niece and my brother. Yeah, he's got that. See, he's dark, like he's tanned. He's got that Turkish kind of skin.
I thought you were Polish.
Yeah, so did I. And then on my 21st birthday, Dad went clink, clink, clink. Anya, I'm sorry. You're not 100% Polish. You're 1/4 Russian. And the whole room of Polish people were like, what? You're a sneaky Russian. You know, this is what it was like when I was 21. And and yeah, and it turns out my grandfather was a Russian legionnaire, and he met my grandmother in the war, and they changed their name to Nerowski because they were hiding, and they started a new life and had heaps and heaps of kids, and my dad being one of them. And you know, so we've got all this family that like the family he left behind that I'm related to. And anyway, I need to do that ancestry.com stuff. Yeah.
I know all about
interesting.
your dad. Your dad goes, no. You'll give me that fish. You'll give me that fish. I put the gourami in with the
No,
saute.
no, no.
No.
No, no, no.
Yeah, you've not got no problem. I take the fish home.
I take 20. You give me 10. Sir, they live alone. I want 10. You give me the 10. Bullshit
So you got-
fucking. No, bullshit fucking. That's what my dad says. Sorry,
got
people.
That's all right. You got 3 fish in this tank.
At the moment, yeah. Yeah. So this, and they're really old. Yeah, I love blennies. So this bicolor blenny adds a pop of color. It's got a little cave around the back of the rockwork, so it's quite private, but it comes out to feed daily. I, really need to get a clownfish little boy for my girl, and this is a very old aquacultured orchid dottieback from the facility that cultures aquacultured dottibacks.
Now, in this image here, which I'm pausing, it looks a bit pink. Have you experienced fading of coloration?
I think in its old age, I most definitely, I believe that it's losing a bit of pigment there. I remember back in my old cichlid days that sometimes Africans used to do the same thing. Just like how old humans get grey hair, I believe, like that the chromoplast cells, is it chromoplast? I haven't really thought about that in a while, but the chromatophore cells, that's it, it's a chromatophore. They have a lifespan, and eventually they start to fade out. And
I wouldn't know about that, but I'm pretty sure that Steve Levinson does.
Oh, I saw him yesterday. Yeah.
Did he? I don't know how you.
He bought a pair of clowns.
He's so great these days. How can you see him? All right, now. I just removed it. No, Anya. It's time for.
Ooh, another sec.
It's time for our shout out.
Ooh. Let's shout out.
This is an opportunity for you to give a bit of recognition to someone, something, somewhere, anything that you want to in regards to your hobby, not so much the industry, but just about you as a hobbyist.
Ooh. I got one. I'll be back.
All right. Well, my one's going to be an easy one, so I'll give a shout out. Last Wednesday, I'm just giving my little shout out before you, Anya. Is that okay?
Good.
I had to fill in some space here because you just disappeared on me.
Sorry.
Last Wednesday, I went down and picked up some twin spot gobies from Fanatics Marine in Port Macquarie. And when I was there, I met a dad, but 2 little, well, not little, they're probably, I'm guessing around about the age of 12 or 14, young hobbyists. I'm going to get their names correct. Emily and Blake. This shout out is for you because it is fantastic to see some young kids that are really interested in the hobby. They had a freshwater tank set up, which they were just doing some collecting from the local creeks. They've talked about rock pooling, and I can't help but feel, Anya, that if the young kids get into it by being from nature, as opposed to, I hate to say this, but as opposed to just putting down the dollar bills when they're a 25 or 30-year-old, that they're probably going to be in the hobby for the long term. So my shout out this week is to Emily and Blake, and for Brendan for taking them into the aquarium store with you, mate. Good on you. Now, Anya, go for it.
That's so good. So the first thing I could think of, so I have a great friend of mine that's in the industry, Gareth Barber. And you might know him, you might remember him from Fragorama.
Yep.
He was our MC, and he has been working for many years to develop various strains of bacteria in a bottle products.
Mm-hmm.
I've been always quietly skeptical of some of these bacteria in a bottle products. You too? Or should I be quiet?
No, well, it all comes from...
Well, who knows what's in them? Who knows what's in them? We can't test it.
Well, it's derived from septics, from sewage treatment plants, but we all know that the nature is the best thing. But anyway, go for it.
Bingo. Anywho, so he sent us a sample bottle of his, final kind of product, and it was a big 500 ml bottle, and we had just set up the shop, right? And it was it's marketed as a nitrifying bacteria, a lot of other benefits and whatever else. And he talked about how there's 14 strains, and he's been culturing them, and they came from like a library of microbial, anyway. He did a live stream on Thursday night actually, and kind of dabbled a little bit about it. But anyway, without a very easy facility for me to test like what is in bottle ABC, we just have to have like this blind trust in these wholesalers, right? In these companies. And we obviously, I sell a lot of seeded media here. We constantly are replenishing our bioballs and biological media, because we're selling it as a, to transfer bacteria. Yeah. So I'll sell them the good bacteria in a bottle, but also I'm like, but let's just move it, like get some of this too. Anyway, so Gareth.
Hang on. Let me adjust here so we can see you fully.
Shit.
Bingo. Go. Oh, yeah, that's so freaky.
Yeah, it's bacteria like Anyway, it irrelevant. The label is cool, right? And it doesn't say on here anything about dinoflagellates, right? However, we super cycled this store, right? We had we literally had to go out of Wynnum into this store, like bang, bang. We couldn't afford to be closed for longer than a couple of days because we have big bills, right? And this company supports heaps of staff, and we needed to be open. So we did the soft opening, and we went through the ugly phase, and we hadn't, in the whole 12 years, I've never seen dinoflagellates. I've talked about it with people, but I've never dealt with it, never had it. Diatomaceous, sure. Cyanobacteria, okay, easy to deal with. And lots of algae and all the other things, but I've never had dino, and I've never had brown jelly either. Oh. However, that frag tank, that 5-foot frag tank with the blades, it came first, and it was dinoflagellate central. It was revolting, right? Yeah. Just bleh, gross. And so every single day we were manually removing it, siphoning it out, trying to, fake it till you make it because people are coming in. Then my stash tank got it. Days apart, right? Then the old, this 3-meter cade that's 2 weeks old, the previous tank to that, it had it too, right? Probably because we had no live rod. So Gareth just so happened to send this sample bottle around the same time. And I was like, well, can't hurt. And I know that there are methodical people that are like, I'll just do one thing and wait. I'll change the alkalinity. I'll change the flow. I'll, whatever. But to me, if I have a problem like that, I do everything. I siphon it. I clean it. I raise the alkalinity. I add live rotifers. I everything. Get it out of my life is my motto. Yeah. So I added Gareth's bacteria.
Shotgun therapy, that's called.
The dinoflagellates were gone overnight.
Really?
In all 3 systems, Adam.
Did you put this on Facebook so everyone knows?
I mentioned it because I'm very scientific, right? So currently, that was three samples, right? 3 aquariums. So then we had a client, the guy, the beautiful, our awesome friend who does our live foods, and he's coming in all the time, right? And he's like, mate, you got dinos. I've got dinos. I've had dinos for 1 year. He's had dinos in his SBS system, bare bottom and so on. He's been battling with it, and he's very calculated. He's got a microscope. He's got, he's the one that sells us the live rotifers, and so, he's got all the things, and he's very clever. He's very, very smart. Yep. But he only does one thing at a time, waits a few weeks, and he tried so many probiotics, and he'd had like mild success with a Fritz product, mild success, but it came back. It kept coming back. So I gave him some of that sample bottle from Gareth, And man, he
Right.
comes back the next day and he's like, it's gone. I have no dino. 1 year of dino is gone.
In one
So that-
night.
Right? He couldn't believe it, just like us. And so I've since five clients have used it and it has worked. And I don't know what species of dino we had. Maybe we all had the same. I'm not saying it's going to fix your dino, but it sure as hell fixed our dino.
Hang on.
And
so everybody, you hear it now. Anya says that bottle will fix your dinos in one night.
Look, I was heavy-handed with the dose, right? I didn't do 1 mil. 1 mil per 100 liters? This is so strong. 1 mil per 100?
You've got to go
I don't even know how many liters is in the K 1500. No. I don't know. I didn't Google it. I didn't measure it. I just went.
You dose by capful.
And this is why you don't drink vodka on live streams.
No, it makes it fun. So
it does.
So
anyway, I'm just saying he might have a breakthrough here. It won't say anything about dino on the label, but mate, it's worth giving it a shot.
Can I allow you one sentence to finalise your shout out? One sentence. Go.
Thank you, Gareth Barber, for consistently striving to improve the knowledge and understanding of things on a microbial level for this industry.
Business name, product name?
Biotech Aquatica. And the product that I'm talking about is NComp, but he also has like a sister product that's like an organic waste degrader, like sludge buster called Microplex, which I'm trying next because now we need that. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll do my best to get that information into the comment section of this.
Mate, it's awesome. It's just, yeah. And honestly, I'd love to hear if it did or didn't work because it just so happened to work for us.
All right. Now, Anya, before you get too pissed.
Lucky I'm Ubering at home, Adam.
If you want to start walking, so turn that camera around, and do you think, okay, this is up to you. Do you think that we've done a lot of coral talk now? We do have people that are freshwater as well. Which way do you want to go in terms of fish?
It's not an enormous shop. I mean, okay, so I'm going to flip the camera. I'm going to flip the camera around. Did I just turn it off? I did. Okay.
No,
take
you're
my
good.
drink.
You're good. Take a drink.
So here is our marine fish system. And we did get an amazing order from Cancer Marine, on Friday. But guys, I mean, we've literally served hundreds of people the past 2 days.
Anya,
yes.
Keep talking. I'll be back in a sec.
Okay. I guess Adam needs to refill his scotch or something. So in any case, we're 2.3 months into this shop. Adam did say 6 weeks because that was like my mental timeline, but I had to Google it because I need to be thorough with and accurate. So this fish system was not even here on our soft opening. So Cameron has done the best that he possibly could have with tanks that we already had and it looks amazing. The cladding is amazing. That was so fast. We really like to provide somewhat of a natural habitat for our fish. I'm not a big fan of marine fish systems without rock, without caves, without substrate, because we sell fish that require substrate, fish that like caves. Yeah.
Show us your fish. Show us the fish.
I'm showing the fish.
Go closer.
Okay. So, oh gosh, but everyone's asleep. There's a barred rabbitfish and some Vanderbilt's chromis.
Hey, Vanderbilt's, I reckon Vanderbilt's are oh my God, let me talk about that fish in a sec. But Vanderbilt's are a much underrated chromis, I believe. And that fish, now is that a fan billy leather jacket or an Aptasia eating one?
It was invoiced as an Aptasia eating filefish. But sometimes they get these things wrong. I'm really big on fish books. I don't Google because sometimes Google can be wrong. But I feel like if it's a published, it's fact.
So that to me is Monocanthus chinensis, which is a fan billy leather jacket, and although they don't really occur in coral reefs as such, are an absolutely brilliant pet fish. And even as a pair, you can tell the sexes because the males get a different shape to their forehead and a different point to their tail finish. And they're such good fish. Love them.
And a bargain. There was a little hawkfish looking at us, but he got a bit scared. But he's another little flame hawk. Hello.
Why are flame hawks more expensive than the rest? Is it just because they're popular or they're hard to catch?
They're collected from the Coral Sea, which is, technically not even like Australian waters. So you've got to steam out. Apparently to get out there, it's like 15, 18 hours. And only 2 operators have, or at least only 2, from what I understand, only 2 operators are licensed to collect out in the Coral Sea. And this is a little Talbot's damsel, which I am shocked is still here. Because, man, they are amazing at controlling photosynthetic flatworm infestations. Okay. And they're stunning. I mean, it just looks like a juvenile angelfish. Like, that's so pretty.
Anya,
and they're not psycho.
We've got a comment here. G'day from Canada, from K13-Trav.
Hello.
Now,
G'day.
back to our fish. Another leather jacket.
Yeah.
Oh, you got an arrow dart goby. Love those guys.
Oh, yeah, me too. There's a whole school of them. We've probably got about 10, but they're in the rockwork. It's their bedtime. But I really love scissortails. Oh, look, they're coming out. Oh, it's like they heard me. Hey, buddies.
I think the dawn of kind of smaller, focused species, not necessarily species, but focused reef tanks is coming where you can really knuckle down into observing some certain species without the whole busyness of a mixed reef. Anya, do you ever see curious wormfish, which are in that dark fish?
I've seen one once. I believe it came from Western Australia. And
I'm going to share my screen so I can Google curious wormfish with people. Because it's not a common fish. You said once from Western Australia.
Yeah. Yeah. I could be wrong. I could be confused.
Such a cool fish. And I think they're really common around Lizard Island, and they live on the sandy, muddy flats around the sort of mackerel, algae, or seagrass. I'm not quite sure, but such a cool little fish. But you don't see them.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I would love that fish. Look at that. Stunning.
All right, you got Cooper's Xanthias.
So what's up in here? Cooper's Xanthias. They're a bargain. I ordered quite a few different Anthias, but these ones were the only ones that arrived, so that's nice.
And you do those.
They remind me a little bit of goldfish, to be honest.
You do those at a good price.
Hello. I'm a big fan of the 6-line.
I know, they're cool.
Love a good 6-line wrasse.
Anya, my understanding is that you.
Oh, Adam, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me. Can you hear me now?
Adam?
Yes, I can hear you, Anya. Can someone in the chat let me know if you can hear me or Anya? Just let me know as soon as you possibly can so we can make sure we don't miss out on anything. Anya's leaving. Where is she going? Hello, everybody in the chat. Just let us know if you can hear me.
Adam?
Yes. Yes.
I can't hear you.
Is your phone dying? Is your phone dying?
I'm just going to walk around here. It's going to come back.
Right. So what I'm going to do, so I've just removed Anya from the stage. I'm going to add her back again. I
cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Fuck. What happened?
No, okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to kick from the studio, kick the guest, take it back. Guys, just hang in with us for a sec. I'm just going to make sure Anya knows that she can rejoin our chat with the link. Okay, so hopefully that'll sort it out. rejoin chat now. So you guys can hear us, can hear you both. Everyone can hear us both. Anya entered the studio. Let's just get her to join. Can you hear me now, Anya?
Yes. I don't know what happened there. Sorry.
Aren't we technologically savvy? An old
Turn
bastard.
that on and off again, people. It always works.
Anya, we were loving the curious wordfish, but no one seems to stock it these days, which I don't know why.
Always the curious stuff. It's hard. I think the bread and butter, it pays the bills.
Yeah.
It could also be like certain collectors have stopped, and now it's just a new generation of divers, and they have their standard bits and pieces. And
hey, Anya, can I just jump
Yeah.
in a sec? Because can you make sure your battery is not dying on your iPhone?
Yeah, I did. That was the first thing. I had a wonderful friend, Emily, messaged me this. Thanks, Emily, for watching and the suggestions. I'm only halfway. Like that definitely, thank goodness, because I have a pretty bad battery situation. So I'm not sure. But remember, Adam, when we did our practice run, this kind of area of the fish system, we did have a little bit of issues with.
Oh, we did, didn't we? Okay.
Could be a dead spot down here.
Yeah. All right. Well,
So I'm just, if that happens again, I'll just walk away and do the same thing, So
Yeah.
this tank is aquacultured Ocellaris. We've got the blacks, Darwin blacks next door, and I've got some beautiful Rainford Scoby in this week. They're sensational, and they have like a specialized rasping, like conical kind of teeth rasping lip. I didn't know, that a few years ago that they rasp algae off the rockwork. And so, what's that little fang blenny there? Canary blenny, as they call it. It's two there. Wow, they survived the weekend. No one bought them. Crazy.
Are they
So beautiful.
they're Disparanthius, are they? Can't see.
Dispars?
No.
Dispars?
Squammies. They're squammies.
Oh, yeah, there was a squammy. Yeah, this is male squammy there. Yep. Dispars are in this tank. We didn't get a restock of those, but they're probably a lot of these reef fish are kind of sleeping because, of course, the sun is set. And they're all looking at me like, what are you doing here? Where's our food? More flame hawks from out in the Coral Sea. And you know what? I've been wondering about, are the female flame hawks less coloured? Because out of the 6 or 7 that we have here, 2 of them are very pale looking, like this one on the right, and most of them are this stunning bold red like this guy. Oh man, I love them so much. They're like the most brightest red. I mean, maybe a flame angel matches that, but nothing else. Firetail gobies maybe, but flame hawks all the way. Hey, love it.
Yeah.
Little
assessors.
Yeah, little baby yellow assessor. Another Jester goby is another name for the Rainford Scoby. I just love them. Hello. They're so peaceful. They can go into a lot of, a lot of people are not stopping reefing with the cost of living rises, but they're downsizing their tanks, and I'm finding this need for stocking small, compatible, things that aren't as aggressive. There's some zebra gobies here.
Very cool. Very cool.
I do. I love how they show off to the like the males have like a moment where they kind of like flap out their pectoral fins.
I feel like the dark goby group has been overlooked because of the shine from the red dartfish or the fire one and the purple.
Yes.
And it's
they're
sort of
freaky. Yeah,
and it's kind of overlooked the rest of the genus or the family, I guess. It's like those zebra ones are very cool. Very cool.
Absolutely. And this one is an aquacultured neon. Oh my goodness.
Dotty
Yeah,
back.
thank you. Neon dotty back. And they're actually, I looked at an import. We don't currently, we've never been big on stocking imports. And actually, the aquaculture in Australia ones retail less than an imported one. So that's cool.
Are they coming
It's
from Western Australia, Anya?
yeah, it's over $200. So, it's still here, but a very special little fish. They're not as prolific, I think, as the orchid dottybacks, which have been line bred against aggression. So I do think these guys have a little bit of attitude compared to those orchid dottybacks.
Yeah.
But man, that's beautiful. I love when people have tanks with fish that aren't, like, they're a little bit more reclusive and they kind of come out as you sort of, the longer you look. Yeah, and like I love coral gobies. Oh man, I love coral gobies.
Anya,
Yeah.
just go back down for a sec, because one of the things that I've always known about Gallery Aquatica is that you do tend to take. Oh, this is like a promo for Gallery Aquatica here. Everybody, listen to this one. You do take care of people that wish to buy their fish in groups. So be it Chromis, we've got barrier Chromis nididus here. Be it Antheus, or in my case, it was Cardinals, you do tend to give people a bit of a bulk discount.
Absolutely. We're trying very heavily to promote this narrative that they are much better in a group of 4. And with the zebra gobies, they are a schooling fish. Don't get 1, get 6, and I'd rather lose the profit. I really would. We care so much about the well-being of the fish. We would rather make less money and just have them happy, 4 for 100 on the disc bars, and we say to people they're better in a group of 8, and so on. So I'd much rather keep a pair and a pair and so on, than to worry about it, getting us back how much it owes us or whatever. Yeah, because in the end, a happy customer with a successful reef isn't going to leave the hobby, isn't likely to, the more success that everyone experiences, it's going to be contributing to industry growth, which is ultimately what we're here for. We're not here for a short time, we're here, this is it. Like, and I don't want to do anything else.
That's fantastic, because usually fish such as blue-green chromis, for example, or even Antheus, they're not true schooling fish. They're an aggregating fish where there is a dominant individual that has a dominant hierarchy over the rest of the individuals, as opposed to a school which has complete indifference to any hierarchy. They're reacting to who's next to it. So with these fish, they really do need to have numbers about them as a buffer in case there is that dominant aggressive individual. So by you enabling those people to buy larger numbers from the get-go, it's going to ultimately create that success for them, and they'll keep on coming back to you because they'll be happy.
Yes. Oh, that's right. That's exactly right. And there's nothing worse, I think, especially when you're a new hobbyist, of how there's just so much varied information out there. It can be very overwhelming. You go to one shop, you hear one thing, Google says another, Americans say another, and the book will say something else. It's enough to make people give up, and that is devastating to me. I've been looking for Biocelatus goby pairs, because I know of your current, fascination with them. But it looks like the 6 pairs we purchased have all found homes over the weekend. So I only worked a half day today to help them out because we had some people calling sick. And so I don't have any twin spots to show, and I'm really looking forward to getting some more fish into this system ASAP.
All right. Well, let me ask you one question before we go to the escaping room, because we've got one other segment to get to. What is your fish of the week from your store, Anya? Give me one one deep dive, one fish species that you've got there on hand. Go.
Well, I really I like the scooter dragonet. Just saying.
Cool.
Out of all the drag, I
cool.
don't think it's my fish of the week. I'm just saying we didn't mention it. I was a really big fan of the twin spot gobies this week because I haven't seen them in a few years. It's been years. They were really plump and healthy looking. They instilled a lot of excitement in people, and usually we sell them for double that. So they were also very affordable. So I'm going to say they were my fish of the week. But I was really hoping to get Great Barrier Reef Blenny. But you know what? When you put these orders in, you just don't know. You don't know what you're going to get. You don't know if another shop got in half an hour before me, they get it, you know. And mate, I want those Asenius Blennies so hard. Oh, they are the best.
Anya,
Yes?
duck back to the counter where there's good Wi-Fi or good internet service and turn your camera around, and I've got some questions for you.
Okay.
Okay, that's better. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it?
Was that funny over there?
Look at that. You're shaking your hair out like it's a supermodel thing going on here.
No, it's just getting all hairy, you know.
Now, can I double check that your phone battery's not dying?
Yeah. While we're here though, I can plug in. Hang on.
Yeah, because you do. It sounds like you've got a groan coming out of your phone every 5 seconds.
Oh, really? Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
No. Just give me a second.
That's all right. So, okay, I'm going to start talking about twin spot gobies because there's a few guys in the chat that are asking about twin spot gobies, and I got my little experiment there. What I've been trying to do with the twin spot gobies is I've been trying to find out that if there's a species of fish that is being traded in the hobby and is pretty much has a potential to starve, what I'm trying to figure out is there a way of successfully adapting what we do as aquarists to have success with that species? And that might mean that we have to come out of our comfort zone of having nice white sand and beautiful reef tank into having more of a sediment substrate type environment. And so I'm just saying, Anya, about twin spot gobies, you're frozen. There you are. That's what I'm up to at the moment. I'm trying to have essentially a refugium as the display, much like mandarin fish were back in the day. Anya's now disappeared. No, she's back again. What are you doing?
I just realized I had a couple of screens open, mate. I just had to delete them. Maybe that's the problem, you know? Who knows?
You're still farting. I don't know what's going on.
Farting?
Yes, every 5 seconds you fart.
Literally? What do you mean fart?
Look at this comment.
Pig? I'm really sorry, everybody. I'm not farting, I promise.
I'm only assuming it's to do with the internet service. So if everybody out there, look, if you have to, you're going to have to just suck that up because we're here to hear about what Anya has to say. No, that's fine. Good evening, Adam and Anya. Can I ask how Cam's mega fiberglass reef is doing?
Oh, the swimming pool.
Not seen any updates for a while. Thoughts on Miracle Mud filtration or new developments on filtration? Cheers from Steve. So it's a couple of questions. How's the fiberglass reef, which I'm assuming is from the prop room back in the day, and Miracle Mud filtration and any new developments? Yeah, go.
All right. Again, I can.
Hang on. Go. Cam's fiberglass giant tank.
It's a safe space, right? I can tell all the tea.
This is a safe space. Yeah.
So 2 Christmases ago, It's been a while now, over a year ago. We had a 14-hour power outage. It was very hot, 40 degrees. And unfortunately, the prop room suffered from this. Did not in any way identify the power outage until the 14th, 15th kind of hour. And unfortunately, that was a 10,000 litre system. The swimming pool, I call it the swimming pool, the fiberglass, was linked to what we call there were 3 ponds basically. So it was all linked, 10,000 litres, and the chiller was the industrial grade, huge chiller in a shed behind that shed, which I didn't even, when I identified that the power was out, we actually got like a very expensive frozen food order, many thousands of dollars worth of frozen food. And so I was focused on getting, it was 40, it was so hot, and I rushed from the shop to try and put the frozen away. But
you've got to clarify, we've got some overseas viewers here. Christmas in Australia is not like a Northern Hemisphere Christmas, is it?
It's stinking hot. I don't know what 40 degrees is in Fahrenheit even, but it's really hot. So, and in the shed, it had insulation and stuff. Anyway, long story short, Brandon, my work bestie, our dry stock manager, he was at Wynnum, flooded with customers. Poor guy was just, it was so busy. It was 3 o'clock and I've walked in and the shed, the power's out. And it was so bad. It was so bad. Anywho, I did everything I could to get everything running, and my number one priority at that point was unpack the 15 boxes of frozen food so they don't melt and we don't lose many thousands of dollars worth of frozen food.
Yeah.
I got the frozen food running. I got the shed running. It took me ages to work out what was tripping and what was shorting. And I ran it. The shed has a completely different power board to the house and stuff. It's on solar. Anyway, thought I fixed it. I really thought I fixed it. And the 10,000 litres, like you put my hand in, it wasn't hot. The lights were back on. The flow was back on. All good. I rushed back to the shop. The boys just happen to be working out west, and it's many hours away. So all the staff that could have potentially helped were not present. Came home, dealt with the children, blah, blah. Told Cam there was a drama. He said when they get back at 10 p.m., like it was a massive day for them. They were installing cades or relocating cades from like Gold Coast to like Rosewood or something. It was nuts. And we all went to sleep. And when I woke up the next day, I could smell. It was bad. So, unfortunately, the first thing to go, of course, was the SBS, and the next, and it didn't. The LPS and the Zoas and stuff didn't even go straight away. But I guess all that rot from the SPS going, eventually the LPS, and like when the Zoas are going, it's not good. So that ended the prop room for us, and decade worth of coral hoard gone. Yeah. And we're not the kind of people who talk about this. We don't put it up online and like feel sorry for us because we just lost $1 million worth. Who knows what we lost? But it was so depressing. It took months. I couldn't even go near it for months. But it's gone. It's still there. It's just empty. It's all empty.
On a positive note, though, you will.
I'm over it now. I can talk about it now.
Yeah, and you will be propagating your own coral upstairs.
Yeah, we've got a prop room planned upstairs. It's going to be very schmick.
And it means that you can separate your work from home balance better.
Yeah, and I'm still advocating for having the prop room, in the shed as well. I love having that in the backyard. But thank you so much, the Shadow Man. 104 Fahrenheit. Thank you. It's hot, man. And it was like 40 degrees. It was so hot. It was so hot. And like I put my hand in the water and I was like, whoa. And that's when I realized that the chiller was connected to the shorted power board, which the rain, it was a storm and the water had come down on the power board and fucked this whole power board. And anyway, Anyway,
Now,
honestly, it's been a long time now, and I can talk about it without like breaking down, but it was a lot.
look, I hope
We will rebuild was my motto.
Look, I hope if anything that the meeting tonight and the members of our group have allowed you to get those emotions off your chest.
Thank you.
Anya, what I'm going to do, Dead SPS smells so bad from K13 Trav. Yep.
It's nasty.
Now, I'm going to suggest...
The tenuous. I have so many good tenuous. I'm so sad about the tenuous. One day, I'll go to Mackay and I'll get more.
I'm thinking about the fish, man. I'm thinking about the fish. Those bloody big...
Fish were fine. We lost 0 fish. They were fine.
The whale?
The whale is cool. The whale is still in the prop room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Anya, because you're still farting every 5 seconds...
Really?
Yeah.
Shit.
I'm going to suggest that I'm going to remove you from the stage.
Okay.
And you're going to log back in a second, okay? All right? All right. So now, guys, I'm just waiting for Anya to come back on board. We're going to see a bit about her freshwater side of the hobby, or not the hobby, the store. And I've got a few quick questions to ask her of my own accord. If you've got any questions that you want to ask Anya directly, it seems that my wife is saying that I'm drinking too much. Oh, here we go. Anya's back. You there?
How many drinks have you had, Adam? Is that apple juice? Oh, that's scotch. Oh, is that a whole bottle? You had the whole bottle? When are you pouring this stuff, dude? 1 sec. I left my drink over here. Hang on. I need to match up. Honestly, I'm really excited because it is actually my Saturday today, even though I did a half day. Tomorrow is my Sunday.
Because you get tomorrow off.
Yeah.
Good on you.
And Cam's mum comes to look after the kids, so it's like a proper me day.
Nice one. Because like running your own business, especially if you're a retail store, is full on, isn't it?
Oh, mate.
Like how many days?
You hinted at this in your little blurb about what we would chat about. Yeah.
Yeah. It's. I'm assuming you don't go home and stop thinking about work.
Correct. I often dream about serving customers. I dream. I wake up at 2 a.m. Did I turn the tap off? Is the RO still on? Did I message that guy back about the relocation quote or whatever? Right.
Yeah.
I care. We care so much that it infiltrates every little level of our being. But there's no price that you can really put on being your own boss and having this job, that you love, and we're so passionate about what we do. And I often, in times of duress, when things are really rough, I'm like, geez, wouldn't it be cool to like work at Bunnings, be just 9 to 5? Go home and just not think about it. Someone else will deal with all the issues, but no, I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it.
I applied for a Bunnings job when I first moved to Coffs Harbour, and I'm a qualified landscaper, qualified horticulturalist, and I got rejected. So you got no hope whatsoever.
They're nuts. Our local Bunnings, I've got some mates that work there, and they get well paid, I mean, imagine that. But honestly, I thrive under pressure. Typically, as much as I do struggle with anxiety, it's genetic. I think that just helps like excel. I have a very high standard, and am very unapologetic about that too. Like, it has to be amazing, or else, like, don't do it if you're not going to do it properly.
Yeah.
And I've always been really appreciated by every employer I've had prior to this, for excelling that way. And my dad, you know, maybe because he's Polish, but work hard, you know, like hard work. He's, you know, nearly 80 and he's still working. Like, we are just hardworking people. And
Yeah, that's amazing.
I love it.
Anya, now,
Yeah.
do you want to dart back to the counter because that's where your internet service is best?
Oh man,
Don't
is
worry
it
about
bad
that.
in the freshwater room too?
A little bit. It could
Okay.
be me.
No worries.
Put me back.
I'm more than happy.
But Anya,
More than
we have
happy
a
to
new-
stay here. It's fine.
we have a new segment in the live stream.
Yay. Okay.
And it's
That when I'm dealing with much smaller goldfish.
It's like bedtime, right?
Hey?
Are there still people watching?
Yes.
Yeah, hi everyone. Just checking. I mean, people can like watch it later when it's on YouTube or whatever, right? But
Absolutely.
amazing.
So this segment is
When
called
I'm dealing with much smaller goldfish.
So this
Quick
is
tips.
Quick Dips. This is a rapid fire
Yeah.
questions which you must answer with the first thought that comes into your mind.
Okay.
Are you ready? Is
Yes.
Cam really the fish guy?
Is.
If you are the queen of coral, where do you keep your crown?
Oh.
Okay, I've got to check my things. Fish or coral?
Coral. Oh my
Red.
God.
Red or green?
Green.
Do you like it hard or soft?
Soft.
So,
Octo coral power.
Oh, baby. My wife's telling me how inappropriate that is.
Thank you.
you guys-
Only because we have wandering minds, right?
All right. So because my wife says that's inappropriate, I'm going to have a sensible quick dip. Do names matter?
Yes.
Excellent.
But a rose by any other name will smell as sweet, right? Get what you want. You know, if you like it, get it. Who cares what it's called? But mate, it deserves to be identified as something.
And that was
That when I'm dealing with much smaller goldfish.
Quick tips.
quick dips. That's it. All right. Now, do you want to give us? Now you've got a freshwater side to Gallery Aquatica. It's not Gallery Reef. It's Gallery Aquatica, as well as escaping room as well.
Should
so
we
do you
try the escape room? Like, just tell me if the internet's bad there, okay?
Okay. All right.
Okay, so I'm going to walk around the other way where the packing bench is. And I actually have my camera the wrong way to what you told me to do. So is that bad?
No, that's good.
Is that bad?
That's good there. That's good.
Okay, sorry. So we have our packing bench. That's the freshwater room, which is, you know, totally under construction, but there's still something there. And this is the escaping room. Oh, oh no, the lights. Is it past 9? Oh dear.
Well, there you go. There you go.
I know, but this light is off now. God damn.
That doesn't matter.
Okay.
That's all right.
Okay. So you enter the escaping room. Hooray, right? There's this beautiful display where we're selling these little mini bromeliads. Bromeliads. That's how you say it, right? Bromeliads.
Thank you.
You're
Yes,
a plant dude.
I am.
I like the pronunciation. There's some crypts, there's some blue shrimp, there's some antlers in here. But the real appeal of this whole setup, paludarium setup, is the mist maker, right? Everybody loves the mist.
Yeah. Everyone loves this.
Yeah, and we've got an exquisite selection of escaping stuff here. So many different beautiful freshwater rocks. I'm really loving this. It's just came out a week ago. I don't know if I can make it show you, but it's glittery. Is that glittering?
Is that like a quartz crystal in it?
It's got to be something. It's very glittery. My phone's probably not showing, but stunning, absolutely stunning. I was sacked from the orange juice factory because I missed that. Okay. But yeah, I mean, there's just there's so much inspiration to be had in a room like this.
Yeah.
Ollie, who works here, is just stunning with his freshwater aquascapes, and we continually sell. Like, he just sets it up and it's gone, you know. And Brandon's the same. Yes.
Is the concept there that someone will come in, see a hardscape back to your left? Yep. And go, I love that hardscape and that tank. I'm going to buy that whole thing, and then I'm going to plant it out with my own choices.
Yeah. Yep. Sometimes they have plants. Sometimes they are wet. Sometimes they're dry. Sometimes they've got the Glad wrap over the top, so they're like at a different stage of that. I'm going to laminate these and make them all pretty, but you know, I think he did this on Thursday or something. So every single day, this room and the whole shop changes. Like, Cameron only added these black tubs yesterday, you know, so like every time people visit here, there's something new to be seen. You know, this Marco rock should be around here somewhere. That needs a bit of marine stuff in here. And we've got the dry, you know, these are little Dimax IQ 3, 5, 7, 9, and so on. Just a good place to see some nanos. There's a lot of driftwood up here.
Can I ask, Anya, how much of your clientele is saltwater versus freshwater?
Interestingly, well, everyone who comes here, because we don't have our signage up on the windows upstairs and stuff, which can be seen from the main road. Everyone knows us from Wynnum, or at least from Wynnum or Salisbury. However, we put an A-frame sign out. Is my internet bad?
Oh, it's not too bad. It's jumping occasionally. That's all right.
Sorry, I can walk away.
No, it's okay. Because we are addicts, we can handle it.
I totally should have walked in here before the lights went off. I didn't realize it was 9 o'clock already. I'm having such a great time.
I know, right?
I didn't realize the time. So,
hang on. That's really cute. That's really cute. Go down. Jars. I'm even hearing about smaller jars these days, but just an airline. So, what's the concept there? What's the concept?
We hadn't yet set up our betta system when we decided we wanted to stock some betta. I definitely have had a phase in my life where I was trying to breed clown tail, crown tail, mustard gas betta. And so, you know, I have a really nostalgic moment with the betta. And I know everyone's all like, you need 16 litres for a fighter fish. And I agree that they appreciate more space. But these amazing giant coffee jars, and this is a good indication of how much coffee I drink too, have just been so nice to stock these really nice betta. And there's some terrarium sort of style. I can't really see the moss and things. I'm sad that we're here before the. Yeah. Anyway, so we're just showing people. But we're selling from here. So this is like a selling area. We can sell the jar if you want it, sure. But most people that we sold fighter fish to are putting them in a 20 litre or a 40 litre tank.
Okay, so they're not picking up that one jar and taking it home. They're
They
taking
can
it.
if they want to. No one has asked, not one person yet. But Cameron said straight away from the beginning, if someone wants to buy that setup, sure. And so we change them periodically. Sometimes little algae blooms, prevent them from being saleable. But we're working on that, and yeah, they're sweet, they're cute. This area was actually meant to be shrimp in here, but we really have struggled to find cherry shrimp in southeast Queensland, and I'm shocked by that. I went to the fish auction. I've been putting out my feelers. I'm looking on Marketplace. The wholesalers' quality is
I find that really hard to
questionable.
believe. Really hard to believe. Anya, do you want to track through to the freshwater side of things? Meanwhile, I'm going to put a call out to anybody out there that in Brisbane, Gold Coast area that has different strains or colour forms of cherry shrimp to contact
City Gallery.
Yeah.
I just need to go backwards to get my drink. So I'm sorry. I'll be 1 second.
All right.
But so we have this friend. Oh, can you put the ghost knife footage up now?
Oh yeah, I can. Hang on.
So
Hang on.
we have a wonderful friend who has this awesome fish room in Mackay, and he has bred ghost knives. Look at this footage. Baby ghost knives in a Bible. Oh my god.
That's
incredible.
brine shrimp. Is that brine shrimp?
Yeah, baby brine, I think. And he's, look at how well he's doing with this.
That's amazing.
I don't know if the internet's good. It is amazing. And he is visiting on Thursday, and he has, like, his throwback shrimp are better than what I've seen so far. So he is going to bring some cherry shrimp here on Thursday, along with these ghost knives and a whole bunch of catfish and, some guppies and cool stuff like that.
But ghost knives, from what you were saying previously, are not really being bred in captivity or aquaculture.
No, that's the thing. He's been putting out his feelers to try and work out who's breeding ghost knives in the whole world, let alone Australia. He cannot really identify if anyone's bred them before. He has a secret that he did not show in these videos he shared with us about the nest. And he said that it's the nest, the building of the nest is the secret to it all.
The building of the nest.
The building of the nest. So we don't know the secret, but check this out. Clearly, he's got hundreds of ghost knives breeding, juveniles from his breeding, and good on him. So proud of him, and I can't wait to stock his ghost knives on Thursday. Really looking forward to it.
Anya, can I ask the question? A lot of aquarium stores don't like to deal necessarily with hobbyists or small businesses, private businesses, because of the complications with it, the store credit, all that kind of crap that goes on. How do you feel about dealing with small businesses that might be breeding specialized fish?
I think it's a key to keeping this industry alive is reaching out to the little guy, because you never know what these people have got, and they are putting so much attention and care into a specific thing. It's very niche. Breeding ghost knives, niche as, Like I met this cool hippie guy that's breeding a whole bunch of cool Australian native rainbows, and there's so many people that are putting so much energy into perpetuating these underrated species, and I think they deserve to be highlighted. And the stuff that's getting imported with the main key major wholesalers is fantastic, and we need it, and we need bread and butter, but also quality that's coming out of these home breeders is far surpasses some of these bulk. It's just great.
I had that conversation with Neil, who was my first guest on the live stream, because Neil is a South African who is absolutely obsessed with quality when it comes to discus and ultims, but discus particularly. And his opinion on the Australian imported Asian produced discus is not a good opinion. It's the quality.
That'd be interesting to have a chat with him. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Neil is in Brisbane.
Oh, cool.
Neil is in Brisbane. Yeah, absolutely. So he could
the
actually.
Salisbury store did used to buy discus off. See, because I didn't have much to do with our Salisbury store, so I did know Tom was dealing with a couple of people, but I can't say, like, I'm very fussy about discus. In the height of my freshwater moments, I was keeping some really special discus, and I was really particular about the shape, the quality, the health. And I can see a bad discus from a mile away. So once we get discus system going here, hopefully I get to stock some really good quality stock. But so I would like to drive out to a wholesaler and pick it myself.
That reminds me, Anya, a long way back in the chat, which I don't think I'm going to be able to find. There was a question there about Shed Boy's tank. And what is the update with Shed Boy's tank?
Right. Okay. So I'm sitting right in front of it. So this giant setup, which unfortunately the lights are off, is Shed Boy's display tank, and he has moved to New Zealand, so he, unfortunately no longer part of our team. But he offered us a deal we couldn't refuse. I had to go so far back to get it all on camera. So he had this tank, as you could have seen on our YouTube, in his wall. And then around the corner, he had this 9-foot frag tank on this giant stainless steel stand, which it's so tall. Like, this is an unreasonably tall frag tank for someone my height. But Ryan was so tall. There's a better system here. This is probably where we'll put the shrimp on Thursday. Anyway, but you can really see. Hey, how weird! The return pump's off. Oh, that's odd. Those are like power boards. Hey, I reckon it's an Arleg power board issue. Anyhow, sorry, I digress. So Ryan's tank, get this, the real estate told him his house would sell for $50,000 less if he kept this setup in the house. Like, what is wrong with people if they don't think a cinema room with a beautiful, massive tank that's sumped is not a better value on your house, Like, what?
No.
Anyway, Cam couldn't refuse. We did not have the money, but he couldn't say no. Pardon?
Where's the priorities in life, hey?
Oh, what's wrong with people? Anyway, so initially we were like, let's do discus, let's do big, let's do a green wall, because the ceiling here is that's a big skylight. That's all clear.
Yes.
And so the natural light, so we never have this light on. We've never had it on before. And the plants in here, like, we've got a lot of house plants. This was a beautiful gift I got from Sunnybank, the owners of Michael and Karen, as our, soft opening. Oh, how did they know all I wanted was an elbow monstera? Like, I've got the Thai, I've got the normal, I've got Adansonii, I've got quite a lot of different monstera. I'm obsessed with them, but I never had an elbow before. Love it. Anyway,
we sell the Adansonii to the flower markets as cut vine, bunched up stacks of it.
They're stunning. I'm not surprised. And pothos, like, so one thing I didn't tell you at all on our practice run of all this was that, see these cables? See that?
Yeah.
All that?
Yeah. Yep.
So when we had the dude come in with like his fancy cherry picker thing to do the signage on the outside here, we got him to install this because Cameron has this idea to do like a floating ceiling, which is all going to be pothos vines.
Right.
So this
in
freshwater.
Alive?
Yeah.
Where's the light going to come from?
The sun. Like all that there is sun.
Okay, all right.
It's hard to see, but that is all like clear. It's really high up. And so that's like the next level. There's our storerooms up there. We were going to have this initially was going to be out the back. We were going to park our saltwater truck here. We were going to have a forklift and stuff, but then we realized there's not enough space and we need fresh water and so on. Anywho. Oh, look, Dave. Hello, Dave. I can't wait to see you on Thursday, mate. I cannot wait. Oh, he's watching. He's watching. Wow.
I'm glad you're picking up on that. So, Anya, look, most people, I think, know you and Cam and Gallery Aquatica as far as saltwater, but now that you've amalgamated your two stores into one brand new store, you want to cover everyone's addiction. So what will you say is the future for those that want to stay on the fresher side of the hobby?
With the future with Gallery? So I think currently we're going to start off by focusing on fish that work well in small aquariums and nanos. So we're probably going to avoid African cichlids, American cichlids for quite some time. But we are very interested in all species of freshwater fish. And I kind of have that mantra of like, if you're going to do it properly, right? So currently this is all we could afford, using old tanks from Salisbury to have something. But there's going to be a third row, it could be next week, could be in 2 weeks, but another row up there. We will have rainbow fish in this display. We're just at the moment soaking all the tannins out of Ollie. Ollie has done this most beautiful display. Not that it's easy to see here, but mate, his scape is so good. And we'll have the better system and the shrimp here, but not forever. I'm sorry, I'm going a bit too fast. Sorry.
No,
so
okay.
Look at my 2 empty cans. So basically there's this huge space here. This is all going to be pothos vines, so it's going to be the green room, where that's the blue room, the blue room, marine, freshwater green. And so currently, and what you can't see is a lot of fish, but Dave is going to help top that all back up. So we've got live bearers and stuff here, which I think the bread and butter is important, but we've got a lot of there's a lot of like different types of blue eyes. God, even the neons are sold out. We really need to, this weekend was busy. Got a couple of goldfish. We sell a lot of goldfish. People have ponds. So a lot of raspberries, catfish, and so on. But I really want to specialize in rare stock. We just need to slowly achieve, we just got to build this slowly and organically as we can afford it, and as time, allows us to.
Yeah. Well, we did touch on before the stream about selling fish in your freshwater system that would align with your aquascaping room, as well as the tanks that you'll sell at the front, so that someone that walks in and can see a fish they want, they can have it, they can buy a tank that suits it, and they can have a scape that suits it as well, as opposed to having something like a Oscar or a silver dollar or a whatever.
Absolutely.
There
hasn't been a lot of people that are breeding fish that I've said no to, and just looking here, it's a good reflection of that. The mystery fish. Check this. Adam, I don't know if you saw that post about those babies that turned up out of nowhere, because this was a blue crayfish. It was a blue marin tank.
Right.
And where the actual fuck did these babies come from? I think they're blue eyes, which is strange because we have no standard blue eyes in stock and never had. Nuts. Anyway, the mystery continues on that. But at least we know there's some sort of rainbow fish.
You must have moved something in there that was organic.
Of course. So weird. Like, I moved one rock, but like, I don't know. It's no one it's a very strange mystery. But these have come from a pond in Springbrook. These, a guy down in Manly is breeding these angels. These, a guy in Wynnum's got blue acara, neon blue acara. You know, so I've really tried. If anyone is offering anything, I'm up for it. Endless guppies. These have been bred locally. There's just I'm really trying really hard to support a lot of local hobbyists because I think that's important. And I'll continue to do so. And so we get our one fresh water a week, one salt water a week, until we get busy enough to be able to afford more. And Dave, you know, we've got 100 of your guppies coming, maybe 200. Like, it's empty. We're sold out. So bring it.
All right. Anya, do you want to pop back to the front desk for a sec and turn your screen around?
Yep.
So, guys, what we're gathering here is that Anya's saying that she's happy, or she's more than happy to work with local
bristlenose, plecos, nice L numbers being bred locally. Yeah, shrimp.
So local breeders, if you've got some stock that you're breeding and that you feel like you want to move some on, then have a think about contacting Anya.
Stock credit is obviously, you know, easier.
Ideal. Yeah,
it is. It really is. But we can look at. I'm sorry, I'm struggling with this phone.
That's okay.
Empty.
So yeah, and so most people will want cash, but initially, I'm assuming that when you're starting a relationship, you're going to want to tread carefully, and it might be a case where a bit of store credit might be up your sleeve, bit of food, a bit of filtration, and then Anya, once these guys have a bit of a pattern with you in supplying you with the guppies or the bristlenose plecos, that you and if they have an ABN.
An invoice, just, you know, I think there's a limit for a hobbyist. Like, let's say it's 10 or 7,000 per year that they can trade without, you know, it affecting your tax or whatever.
Yeah,
you know, that makes a big difference for us, because not a lot of people deal with cash these days. You know, so if someone wants a couple $100 cash, we don't always have that in the till. So.
All right, now we're getting to the tail end of the stream, Anya.
It was so nice to be on here. Thank you.
That's okay. Anya, you were so worried, weren't you, when you came in? You were so anxious.
I get anxiety, but I just, you know, you just want,
you want everything to go smoothly. But hey, this is a safe space, and we're all
so
just
fun.
Absolutely.
I don't want to regret anything either. Like, I don't want to wake up tomorrow and be like, oh, I shouldn't have said whatever.
No. Let me just make sure that there isn't any questions from the rest of the viewers. What's this one say?
Please, I'd love to answer some questions.
What have you decided to have in the tank that will behind you in the chat? Oh, okay.
Oh, what's the tank behind you in the chat? What's the tank behind you? Okay.
So this is this was an outside deck once upon a time from Banana Packing Shed, and we enclosed it in to become part of our house, and now it was a lounge come kids PlayStation room, and now we put our desk here with the computers. And I've always thought that just over, not there, because the dog pissed on the bloody lounge last night.
Naughty.
I know.
On the lounge?
Yeah, that way. I wanted to have. I saw a marketplace, a 3-foot shallow cube.
Cool.
I know.
I
You know-
love that.
I know.
I love that.
I know. So it was 3 foot by 3 foot by 2 foot high, and I thought about
2 foot high?
Yeah,
Oh,
3 by 3
Nice.
by 2, and I thought a couple of things. That would be perfect just over there.
yeah.
I was going to either do one, which is too small, I agree. A pair of Oscars, I agree, too small. Because I've never kept Oscars, ever. And to be honest with you, I always think that saltwater pufferfish are just going to be the perfect pet. So I don't know how they can be topped. Anyway, my second choice was going to be fancy goldfish. And I've got a seriously soft spot for red caparandas and black moors. I love them. Love them.
Me too.
And ever since I saw Jeff Senske's video, so Jeff Senske, the aquarium design group over in Texas, had this fantastic smooth river stone arrangement. It was an island style layout with the fancy goldfish going around. I loved it. And so massive soft spot, and that comes from me as a kid. But from me as an adult, it was the Blackwater solely leaf litter substrate, driftwood coming out with maidenhair ferns above the water surface, with cherry barbs and coolie loaches down below. And yeah, so that was what I've been playing with, because obviously this is pretty boring right now, yeah. So it was something over there, and that's what I'm dealing with right now. So Ginger Ninja South Africa 8915, who has been at me about catching those Anthias all week, has asked me about that. What do you think? I'm leaning towards
possibilities. So many possibilities.
I'm leaning
3 by
towards
3 by 2 foot. Oh.
Yeah.
First thing I thought of was mangroves. Like, that was my first thought.
no salt in the tank, no salt.
No
in the
salt.
house. No salt.
What about pea puffers?
No.
What about archerfish?
I've got them outside in my shed.
Okay, of course you do. Of course you do. Well then I agree with your choice.
I want to know what you would choose. Would you choose the fancy goldfish in the simplified modernistic tank with very white?
I love that idea. I really do. I've always wanted to do a fancy goldfish setup myself. Actually, I've had in the 20 whatever years, I've had I really like telescope eyes. Or I like celestials. I like celestials. Yeah. They're so fun. I like ranchu.
Oh, you like the ones
like
I don't like. You like the ones that I don't like. You like the big humpy ones.
Yeah. Give me a big one. I've always because I worked. Uh-oh. Are you still there?
Yeah.
You fell on the floor. So I worked for an importer of fancy goldfish for 10 years on the Gold Coast, and he had the most premium selection of goldfish. I've never seen goldfish to his caliber since, right? And I'm unpacking those orders in his quarantine room. Used to make, you get FOMO. You're like, oh, that one, and there was some pandas that would come in sometimes, or some tricolor, or just really cool goldfish. Anyway, and I've always wanted to do fancy goldfish well, and you just have to make sure there's nothing, they're a bit docile, right? So you need to have it sort of smooth, nothing a bit spiky, and I think they do appreciate a fair whack of rock salt in the water.
And a slightly warmer temperature too.
Yeah. Yeah. People don't really realize that goldfish do benefit from having a heater. I think that would be fun. The goldfish. Yeah.
I'm going to give a shout out to Benny's aquarium right now.
Yes, we love Benny.
Because Benny's aquarium on the Gold Coast in where is it?
Bundle.
Bundle.
Yeah, just off Chevron Island there.
Okay, so Benny,
I worked with him at that importer. Yeah.
Benny has opened up his own store, and talking about fancy goldfish, down the end of his fish row, he's got some fancy goldfish and other fish, and he's displaying them really well with some great Chihiros lighting, which brings out the colors fantastically. And I don't know, he's got a great little knack for finding some very nice goldfish there. So I hate to say it, but probably if that becomes a 3-foot shallow cube of fancy goldfish or randas, I will be going and visiting Benny. So
absolutely, and our boss used to get the best quality randas ever. Like he would fly to China and have chats with these people, and the wen, like, because you can have a wen, but you can have a wen, you know, like with it just so perfect. There were ones that would come in that would make them almost blind, you know, like they'd be like, I've got some eyes under here. Honestly, amazing.
Now you're talking flower horn wen, but that is our second. That's our second shout out for the evening.
Yay! We love Benny. I'm so happy for Benny that he's done that store. It's beautiful. I love how every tank is aquascaped. Love that. Love it. Love it.
No, and also he's got this knack of not being one side minded. He sees fresh and he sees salt, and he has the ability to take both sides and find a balance between them. So in
such a small space, you know, I'm struggling with this massive space to get it all, and he somehow is covering. He didn't have live berries though when I went. I think that was like we sell a lot of live berries. You saw those guppy tanks were empty.
Yeah.
The general population just wants color, happy, and so on. But he's probably competing with like a lot of pet barns and things like that down there, which probably do stock.
Possibly. Now, Anya, All My Train Adventures 7760 says that you should stop dropping your phone. It's quite possible that tomorrow morning Anya won't be able to use her phone because it will have been damaged too much. So
I'm so sorry. I'm so
with
sorry.
That being said,
if I had my Apple AirPods, but my dog ate them.
Understood. Now, Anya, are you ready?
White milk.
So a previous guest has left you a question without knowing who you are. And that question...
That's fun. We're back. I got the case off too because I wanted the camera filter, right? So I don't have any protection on these falls. But anyway, we're good.
Should we repeat that?
So sorry, people. Everyone, I'm really...
So, Anya, a previous guest...
Message in a bottle. I can hear the music.
Excellent. A previous guest have left you a question without knowing who you might be. And that question is, if you were to talk to the version of yourself walking into the very first local fish store back in that day, whatever that day might be, what would you say to that version of yourself? Would it be a warning?
No way. No warning. No, it would absolutely not. No warning.
So
fish keeping has been a highlight of my existence ever since I was capable of using my brain. I was not allowed to watch television growing up. I was allowed to rent books from the library. And I had my dad and my mom's library cards. So I was allowed to get 36 books a week, 12 on each card. But I had no possible stimulation whatsoever except for my fish tanks. And that goldfish tank that we moved to Dad's office, quickly, we got a tropical tank, and then we got a psychotropical tank. So everything that was aggressive to the other, we would flick into the other tank. So I had like tiger barbs and gouramis and angelfish and sharks and things in one tank. And then, placid tropicals in the other tank. I no way. Like, fish are life, man. Like, I couldn't. There's no way. The one thing that I thought was funny, because I actually did, as at a 14-year-old, I did like holiday work at that little Rochelle aquarium store, and he taught me how to clean an impeller. And my dad had been sold like 30 or 40 powerhead filters by that man to date. And we had a whole box of these powerhead filters that all Dad needed to do was clean the freaking impeller. But this guy is sitting there going, here's this Euro guy again. Here's the no, give me 20, give me 10. I want them all. No, fighting fish, they okay, So I got home after that week of, school holiday, and I went back and I was like, Dad, like this has like a thing, and if you open it, there's like we can clean this, and we scored like 40 filters that day, like. So basically, the first thought was that aquarium store you walked into, the note is like, you can clean the impeller.
So the takeaway
the first shift was just me bagging fish flakes. The second shift was cleaning algae. But like by the end of the week, he was like, "This is how you clean an impeller."
So, all right. So the take-home message is, what you would tell yourself back in the day is, save some money, don't buy new gear, just give it a clean.
Yeah. And Kev, like working for. Where Benny and Daz from Reef Secrets, we all worked at this, and B, my work bestie, we all worked at this aquarium warehouse, and he used to teach. He taught us how to like service everything, every light, every the diaphragms on an air pump, all of it, and everything can be repaired.
All right. Yeah. Excellent. Well, that was
white milk. White.
You know where I got that from?
Messaging.
The Diary of a CEO. At the end of every podcast, they ask the guest another question from a previous guest. I love it.
I love that. Do I have to think of a question?
Yeah, you do. You've got to send me one this week.
Cool. I'll do that.
Yeah, this week. Now, we have to wrap up, but there is a couple of comments okay.
I look forward to reading these things when I'm home. No, mate, I'm getting an Uber.
And there's been, hang on, Jack Spencer.
I've done that before. I've dropped the phone in the tank. It's not pretty. And the bar too.
This one here from Quilly's Reef 13. The big question of Fragorama. However, I dare say, you've been a very
great
busy
question.
Girl. You've been a busy.
I was really hoping to cover this, because we have never released this information either. So we found a new venue, and it's amazing. It's so good. It's right next to Eat Street on the Brisbane River. It can stash 1,000 people. It's got a fully, functional, like fully catered bar till 11 p.m. and it's got 3 stages, and it's concrete floor, and it's just perfect, right? It's absolutely this venue, this new venue for Fragorama. Yes.
I have to leave for about 1 minute.
No problem.
you know why?
So,
So
pardon?
I want you to talk about when Fragorama is going to be back in town. Okay. When's it coming back?
Can you hear me though? Because I'm talking. Okay.
Yeah, everyone can hear you. Keep talking. Go.
Okay, good. Okay. Sorry. So, as you guys can appreciate, the show costs a lot of money to run, and Gallery Aquatica has fronted those costs to date, and we have had a lot going on this year. So, if we can pull it off, it will have to be late October. Like later in the year, because we've always had it late May, and there's no way, right? Because the committee also really needed a break because it was a lot. But this new venue is so expensive. It's like mind-blowingly expensive. So basically, we have a bit of a grand plan of we just need to get to our store's grand opening, which we're hoping June, to get to a point of this shop being like what we want it to be. And then we can think about Fragorama yes or Fragorama no. And I'll put together like a portfolio to the wholesalers, because I think we could offer a little bit of a different vibe. Instead of a table, they can get like a 4x4 meter booth or a 5x5 meter booth, because it's a very big space. And if enough people are willing to support it financially, and cover that venue rental cost, we can do it. But
Do you get nervous?
Pardon?
Now, I heard giant venue. I heard
That's
very
huge.
expensive.
Very expensive.
Yeah.
Huge. So basically, the problem with the new space, it's called Super Ordinary. It's right next to Eat Street on the Brisbane River, and it's amazing, right? Perfect. It would be amazing for a reef show. There aren't a lot of places that when you start to put our criteria in, we've got to be able to salt water, we've got to be able to set up on Friday and take down on Sunday and have the show on Saturday, and there's a lot of criteria. It's very hard to find, because a lot of these function venues are like for weddings, and weddings go for like half a day or something. But if we can get the financial backing from industry folk, if we can get 15 to 20 wholesalers or whatever that say, yep, I'm keen to get a booth and I will pay said fee, then we can do it in late October. But what the drama is that to book the venue and the space, they need payment up front. So we would need to come up.
Not even deposit. Payment.
No.
Full payment.
And so for me so it's like a cycle of doom, because for me to ask a wholesaler, like, are you willing on October 26th to come and spend this much money on a booth to support this show? I need to be able to, the venue needs to be able to say, yeah, it's available on October 26th. But for that, we need to pay. And guys, it's a huge amount of money. It's a huge amount. It's a huge amount of money. So we just need to crunch some numbers and write some contracts and chat. And the public liability insurance is likely to be, well over 10 grand. So, it's just like a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And we can save the money, but we can't do it quick. Like, we can, if we need to save the money, then we need to do it next year. If we are able to gain the support for late October, if enough wholesalers say, yeah, I'm in, then we can do it.
So can I ask you, because that sounds similar to, I work by myself all day, and I have my headphones on and I listen to podcasts from reptiles to freshwater to biotopes to saltwater and reef tank. And
love that.
And the Reef Dork podcast I listened to, and they were talking about their Aqua as their show, Aqua.
Yeah.
And
In what area?
a similar situation where they're putting out a call for people to buy their tickets up front.
Like prepay, right?
Prepay. Yeah.
We just need to crunch the numbers. Like if we say, you know, we need 100 early bird tickets at $100 each to get in 1 hour early to cover this and so on. Like we just need those yeses to get there. It's a lot of it's really a lot of it's I don't want to say how much, it's just a lot.
Yeah, no, don't say. But what we will say,
I don't want to say. I'm just telling you guys, it's a lot, and not to mention how many hours of work the committee has to put in. It's not even that. It's just someone has to front those costs, and previously Gallery Aquatica has been somewhat capable of fronting those costs. Yeah. And I know one day that show will break even or whatever, but it hasn't yet or anything, and that was okay. That wasn't our expectation, but we just really. We can't be doing this and going under, you know.
So is it a case where, and that's absolutely correct, a local fish store should not be trying to support a national show for the benefit of the hobbyists? It should be a community effort. So there should be a case where we have some pre-sale tickets. We should certainly have a situation where the vendors, especially if they are big industry players, Aquablue distribution, we've got Cairns Marine, we've got Monsoon, we've got various larger companies out there that want to, you know, really put their Kong, you know, Dynax, whatever it might be. Yeah,
that's right. There's so many great brands here represented in Australia, and that's the thing with this amount of space. There's no longer this 4-foot table space. We're talking about a massive booth. So the vibe is going to change. It's an expo now. Yeah. You know, and that may just be the best way to get around crowding and things. And honestly, there's an aquascaping competition option, like a freshwater. So we could do 2 events on the one weekend.
Yep.
So that we could split that huge bill into 2 different companies.
So for those
and have fun, you know, to have freshwater people come see what we do and marine people see what they do.
Yeah. And that is in the best interests of those distributors in Australia. They're bringing those freshwater and saltwater goods in, such as Dymax and Aquablue, and you know that's in their best interest to support that, to get the. It's
a sound investment. And they know, like we've proven over the 2 years of it running, that we can do it. It takes a lot, but we're all prepared to do it. Yeah. And there's 3 stages, so we can have 3 different types of speakers, and there's an indoor and an outdoor area, and you know it's really perfect. This venue is just amazing. You can look up Super Ordinary. This is where I'd really like to have it. Hundreds of car parks near hotels, near the airport, so on. We really need the support Australia. And if we can't afford that deposit this year, you know, maybe March, maybe early next year, but we're not giving it up or anything. It's just there's a lot going on.
I honestly think, look, from the dad in me reaching out to you and the hobby, I feel like you've got so much on your plate right now with your own store building up that it's too much. And I think it's an absolute testament to you and to Cam and to Gallery Aquatica to try and host, in essence, Fragorama.
Keep it alive.
Yeah, each autumn. And I guess maybe what we should do is put a bit of a shout out to anybody out there that has a affiliation with a Facebook group, from aquarium industries, from Bayfish, from Cairns Marine, from Monsoon, from Aquablue distribution, from Kongs, whoever the hell brings in Red Sea these days.
And America. Australia is such a small component. Like, if we could get some Americans involved.
Who brings in CChem? Who brings in CChem?
Chris Talbot has the account, and also the guy who imports Ceche, Patrick, in Western Australia, I believe, or Adelaide. I'm sorry, I forgot that wrong, Patrick. And then there's also Bayfish. Bayfish. So Premier Pet. They've got 3 accounts in Australia is CChem.
And I just thought of Pisces as well. So, like, honestly, the frustrating...
Like, Pisces could sponsor the plants for the aquascaping, or what. Honestly, we are willing to do as much as it takes, as we always have.
Yeah.
We're hardworking and we're going to keep pushing, but you have to be forgiving if we can't get it out this year. We're really sorry, but we are really going to keep trying. And I just can't say until we've done our grand opening here, because at this point we are honestly living one day at a time. 1 week ahead max. I can't think further. And it's so fair. I get at least 3 to 4 questions a day about when is Fragorama on in my inbox, and I appreciate that. Yeah. It's good. I love that. I'm so glad, but it really is financially a lot.
I think it's time that the industry and the distributors and the product manufacturers wish to support the live stream of their being by giving back. And CChem does this. CChem, I know, does this. Give back to the hobby, support some events, get these things happening so that new hobbyists can come on board and then make their industry better and better and better. So maybe for
and small events are good. Like Mariah's doing an Adelaide. So Only Reefs, which is Mariah, is hosting a frag swap in Adelaide, and that's amazing, and I would, goddamn, I've never been to Adelaide. I'd love to go. Hopefully Cam lets me go, who knows, I might go. I might be able to go, but and little events all around the place have to be celebrated, but something like Fragorama is something that we need to expand to, like, a lot of interstate people. And if we can get it at Super Ordinary, there's so many hotels. It's right next to it's like 5 minutes from the airport, like, this is where the Sydney, the Melbourne, all the peeps need to, like, commit. The same way that we all committed to reef stock when it was in Sydney, and again, October, it sounds like it's far away, but it's, like, not that far away. It's already April. But that is the truth of the matter. And I think maybe me and some other people from the committee, we should do a live stream from the Fragorama page and get this information out there to get people's minds rolling. But we're not giving up. We are not giving up,
No, fuck no.
We just may need a gap year or something, because it's a lot of money.
Look, I honestly think that 2027 is the year, and I honestly think that it should not fall on the shoulders of Gallery Aquatica. It should be a Australian industry.
We was trying to keep it very quiet. We don't want it to be the Gallery Aquatica show. We just, someone's got to pay for it. Someone's got to pay for it. It's a lot of money. Someone's got to pay for it.
Yeah.
And last year we did, and we really struggled because of that. And we had a great time, but at the end of the day, we need to up. Maybe the ticket price at $20 to get in is great. Like, that's fine. The booth fee, we could go a bit up, but that's about it.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, for everybody in the chat, I don't think I've missed any questions.
Good.
Let me just check. Anya. No, I think we've got everything included. There was a bit about
everybody.
about Kickstarters, and everyone agrees and is supportive. But I think it really does. I mean, let's face it, the average person hasn't got the money to back. It does take industry effort because
Very niche.
ultimately we're trying to build the hobby. We're trying to bring new people in, and new people drive income to industry. So if you are Aqua Blue, Pisces, Aquarium Industries, Bayfish,
Reach out to us.
Monsoon, let's think about maybe a 2027 Fragorama and maybe make it a bit more diverse so that it brings in people from a balanced hobby, fresh salt, aquascaping, the whole kit and caboodle. Hey, how's that sound?
Yeah. Because I think freshwater people do like to see marine, and marine people like to see fresh. So I think in the end of the day, we're all aquarists, and we all love fish in glass boxes, right? So why not?
Absolutely. Anya, thank
Yes.
you very much on behalf of myself and everybody in
thank
the
you.
chat, and everybody that might watch this video in the weeks or years to come, because you're a lovely person, and I know I've seen on and heard on various podcasts, etc., that you should do more of the frag files.
Yeah, I would love to. I would love to. We've got the YouTube room upstairs too, just above my head.
I know.
It's got black walls, and that's about it for now. But we will get there.
There's a lot more to come. A lot more to come. And guys in the chat and girls in the chat, thank you very much for being with Anya and myself tonight. Next week, I'm going to admit I haven't quite got myself sorted out, because Anya, I'm going to Lombok.
Wow.
I know, right?
For how long? How long are you going for?
10 days. 10 days.
Wow.
I'm going
Amazing. Have you been before?
Yes, I
Nice.
have. I've been, when I left university in 2021, Jane and myself went on an Indonesian trip. We flew into Bali, we went across to Lombok, we went to the Gili Islands, we then went to Sumbawa, we then went to Komodo, which was fucking brilliant.
Whoa.
And then we went to Rincha, to Flores, flew back to Bali again. And so on the 8th of May, I turned 50.
Congrats.
And so my wife...
You're like me. My birthday's the 12th of May.
Is it?
Yeah. And Cam's the 2nd of May. It's like a fish month. Do you notice all the aquarists have a birthday in May? Have you seen that? Like Lemon Ticks, Julian Sprung, like so many people that love fish are born in May.
I knew I liked Julian Sprung for a reason.
It's a Taurian thing, mate.
Well,
yeah.
We are going, and also my children are between the ages of 18 and 22. So it's about the last holiday that we're going to have together, I think, before they fly the nest. So I'm not exactly sure if it's next weekend I'm going to miss, or the one after. If it's next weekend, what I'm going to do is reach out to 2 of our AA meeting members to accept the link that I'll send them, and they can come on board and show their obsession to the rest of the group. And so I'll have to check the calendar, let's just face it. But Anya, stay there, don't go anywhere. To everybody else in the AA meeting, good night, and I shall see you next time. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
We're done.